oh, whatever.
He
But
seemed to love the Raptors more, if that makes sense.
and I think the Raptors and this community and this fan base loved DeMar for all of those things that he went through, right? Like he opened himself to this community and they embraced him. No, I'm not trying to compare him to Kyle Lowry. I'm just talking about him. Kyle Lowry did that as well. But there's something special about DeMar. I don't know. I want him to play wherever he's a free agent this year after this. I want him to end up on a team that isn't sad, like the current Chicago Bulls, right? Like we have a clip here we were going to play from earlier today. Trey Kirby on No Dunks from No Dunks and The Athletic talking to our Raptors show. So he's explaining the Bulls season and like it's a 30-second clip and I think it kind of encompasses that wow feeling that the Chicago Bulls have endured all season long. So here's Trey Kirby on the Raptors show about 3 hours ago.
Last year, the question of Lonzo returning was kind of hanging over the heads of the Bulls. This year coming in, everybody knew no Lonzo. So more than likely not much chance of putting together a good offense. And then to come into the year and see the way the Bulls have played this season, nothing has changed except for it feels like the mood around the team is even worse this year with the Zach LaVine situation hanging over their heads now. They were sniping at each other in the very first game of the season. They had to have set the NBA record for fastest players only meeting in league history. Night one, unbelievable stuff.
Players only meeting after night one. I mean, I kind of almost respect it because you're like, this sucks. It's night one. We can't have this happen. Whereas you wait, 20 games. Did the Oilers have a players only meeting yet? Because they should have. But after night one, it's like, you are already anticipating that the downfall, you've already jumped off the cliff. A night one players only meeting, they're not coming in with much positivity. I mean, Zach LaVine is the biggest trade candidate right now. And that's about it for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe initiative, but that seems like an overly positive viewpoint. What it probably would scream to me is like there's a bit of a disassociation between players and coach, where it's just like, hey, this is already fractured. And again, I have no idea. Like, I don't know the Bulls at the granular level that you need to come up with that, but that just seems like it's off already, and it has been off. And we talk about like the positions teams are in, and I don't think the Raptors are in an enviable one at all.
No. But
it's night and day compared to the Chicago Bulls, right?
Yeah.
There's a 24th ranked player, hoop site, global rankings.
That's right.
Scotty Barnes, right? Then that's who you're building around. And there may be a name on the Bulls. No, there isn't. And there's talent on that team, but they don't really have anything to build on, to build forward with, to push forward with. They're at the beginning process, it seems like, of tearing down when they were just trying to
a mixed bag of people. It's like a smorgasbord of athletes putting on the same jersey every night. That's what it feels like.
Again, in terms of trade candidates, there's some there. Mm-hmm. They could sort of turn the roster over here and look forward and be happy about things or where they're going. But it's just like beginning down a long path. And how good do you feel when you're taking the first steps down a long path that's going to be pretty ugly for a long time?
I mean, they're 5-11. The Raptors are only 7-8, so it's not like we're on, the top of a mountain looking down.
It's further down that same road.
But the Raptors have pieces that are NBA, all NBA pieces. Like they have real talent. They are just working on meshing those things together. And we have had this conversation for quite a while. One thing we didn't get to ask the guys who are courtside for us, Smith and Jones, was about Malachi Flynn, because I think it's interesting. They've been passing this chain around a lot after every game. Malachi Flynn got it last game. And I'm just seeing a different Malachi Flynn in terms of confidence and in terms of productivity. He obviously had a season-high 14 points, which is one of the reasons he got the chain last game. But I don't know if it's the new coach. I don't know if it's... Okay, it is the new coach. And I'm not going to blame Nick Nurse for the lack of Malachi Flynn growth. But, I mean, I'm kind of blaming Nick Nurse for the lack of Malachi Flynn growth. There were so many times over the last season where we're like, let's see Malachi Flynn get a chance. Let's see him get an opportunity to run a bench unit. Where's Malachi Flynn? And then his dad's on Facebook yelling at the clouds. It just was a bad situation. It almost feels like Darko's come in and not even giving him more than he deserves. He's just given him an equal playing field and said, hey, you want to work? Let's go. If you're not playing well, you're not going to play. If you are playing well, great. Here you go. But it just seems like he is renewed.
What do you need as a plant? You need oxygen. You need water. You need sunlight. You need anything else you
those
need?
are the
I don't think Malachi Flynn was getting any of that from Nick Nurse. Now he's getting a little some of that.
I love that.
And again, he's getting like
he's going to blossom and bloom.
But he has utility. Like it's just like, hey, Malachi, you're going to do this for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see. Maybe, you get out there and you score 14 points. But can you just do this for us? And then if you can accomplish that, we move on to the next thing and we continue to grow. It's just a slight bit of empowerment. And that's what Nick Nurse just refused to give this guy. And again, I don't think he was overlooking a future all-star and the third all-NBA caliber player maybe with the Toronto Raptors. That's not what it is. But Nick Nurse had real trust issues. Like he just did not.
He had his guys,
like and he didn't like some guys. And Masai Ujiri kept Malachi Flynn around, and now a new coach sees something that he can get out of him. And again, you mentioned the record. You mentioned everything that's going on with the Toronto Raptors. It's not all peachy. It's not leading to great results. But at least Malachi has a role right now, and we'll see where it goes.
Last game, Pascal Siakam with a double-double, 36 points. Scotty Barnes with 20. Dennis Schroeder with 26. A good production from the Raptors against the Pacers, 132 points. Let's see what they can do tonight against the Chicago Bulls. That's on the other side of the break. Smith and Jones will take you into Raptors Bulls on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. That's it for Justin and I. Have a great weekend.
We're here with Sports Interaction, the sportsbook and casino, and we're going to see how much Americans know about hockey. Can you name a position on a hockey team?
No.
Quarterback.
What is your favorite celly?
What's he selling? The best one?
How long is a power play? You miss 100% of the shots.
Because you're...
Americans don't know about hockey. So why bet on hockey with one of its sports books? Sports Interaction, your homegrown sports book.
Ontario only. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Concerned? Visit connectsontario.ca.
Hey, what? Have you heard about the amazing Black Friday deals at selloutvacations.com?
No, but why are you whispering?
Because these savings are like savings on top of savings. And if everyone knows, there won't be any more left.
Savings on top of savings?
See? Once people know, they book.
Okay, with these deals, I'm booking an all-inclusive vacation in the Caribbean, a flight with the girls, and maybe an island-hopping cruise.
Hurry, because with vacation deals on top of vacation deals this Black Friday, they won't stay around for long. So visit
selloutvacations.com.
Have you wondered what driving a 2023 Lincoln Nautilus would be like? Now's the chance to find yours. For a limited time at Downtown Lincoln, you can lease the Nautilus at just 1.99%. That's right, lease rates as low as 1.99 APR until the end of November. So don't wonder what premium luxury feels like. Experience it now. Find your Lincoln at Downtown Lincoln. Until November 30th, lease a 2023 Lincoln Nautilus at 1.99% APR for up to 3 years. Cash prices start at $63,500 plus tax and licensing.
What's happening these days? Gas and food prices are through the roof, and mortgage rates are skyrocketing too. Talk about bad timing. There's bills, car payments, kids' lessons, and what about the fun stuff? You need room to breathe and someone to help figure it out. You need New Borrow to show you how to solve your debt and save money with the equity in your home.
Use your home to get a loan with New Borrow.
Start your new tomorrow at newborrow.com.
Everyone loves a big save. The Sport Check Black Friday event is on now with incredible savings of up to 70% off all your favorite brands. Save big on sporting equipment, jackets, footwear, and more. Say it with sport, in-store or online at sportcheck.ca. Selection and availability may vary by location.
McDonald's has the gift that keeps giving. To Peter, your dog sitter, and Claire, who shovels your stairs. And to you, when you spend $25 on McDonald's gift cards in restaurants, get a coupon for a free Big Mac or McChicken.
See details at participating McDonald's restaurants.
All right, everyone. Step up and down. Left foot, right foot. You're climbing up a trail. Now back in your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and getting active in the real world. Work those abs. Driving right through the mud and left and right. Keep that core engaged and bend at the knees as you load more into your Subaru. Windows down. Take in that outdoor air and park.
Get more value out of every kilometer at your local Subaru dealer, starting with award-winning safety.
Amazon's got the best deals on Black Friday. The best deals are on Cyber Monday. Friday comes first when it comes to saving. Monday's worth the wait for what you've been craving. Deals so good it'll feel like stealing. Real cool message, could you make it less appealing? What's with the beef? You can get that too. Why'd you call us? What's triggering you? Whichever day you're shopping on, you'll save a bunch at Amazon. On Black Friday, Monday too.
At
Toyota, we believe you deserve a truck like the Tundra. It's a truck that's capable, reliable, and ready for adventure, just like you. A truck that's tough on the outside, yet warm and comforting on the inside. What? You know you secretly enjoy a nice warm bubble bath? Ah, don't we all? It's time to find your match. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2024 Tundra 4x4 Crewmax SR from $164 weekly for 40 months at 7.99% with $5,449 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we've introduced Same Game Parlay Plus. It's a game changer. Making a same-game parlay across different games has never been easier because the biggest games and most popular markets are now all in one place. Check out Same Game Parlay Plus and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
College basketball is coming to Toronto with a doubleheader on December 9th at the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Come watch Toronto's own and reigning National Player of the Year, Zach Edey, lead Purdue in a showdown against Alabama, followed by an exciting matchup between TCU and Clemson. Don't miss your chance to be part of Zach Edey's much-anticipated return to the Six. Secure your seats now. Tickets for the Hall of Fame Series Toronto are available at HOFseries.com. That's HOFseries.com.
Never.
Bucket is good.
Not.
Man, he pulled out the whole package there.
Exciting.
The Raptors are up 16.
We're just getting started. This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
It's the beginning, we just got started.
We play basketball for a living, you know? Like, this is fun, we're getting paid. I think just like trying to find that joy into the game, competing every single night. Once we do that, like, we give ourselves a chance to be in the game and have an opportunity to win. So I think that, you know, our approach got to be better, our energy got to be better in the beginning of the game. Coming into game, we're just going out there and competing. Like, this is what we do, like, and we got to find joy in it.
That, of course, the voice of Raptor forward Pascal Siakam a couple of nights ago after the Raptors pick up the victory down in Indianapolis. What a thrilling game that was. The victory over the Pacers coming on the heels of the tough blowout loss to the Orlando Magic. A great response by the Raptors, and Siakam finding the joy and hoping to carry that enthusiasm, that momentum into tonight's tilt against the Chicago Bulls. It's the Raptors and Bulls. The tip-off is coming up next on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors and their fans, on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Black Friday is on now at Mark's. From November 23rd to 29th, save up to 70% off in-store and online. Great deals with new offers on winter boots, jackets, jeans, and more. Visit Mark's in-store or at marks.com to shop and save.
Black Friday deals are on at Freedom Mobile. Get a nationwide unlimited plan on our growing 5G network for just $34 a month for 24 months when you bring your own phone. So it's more like Black Friday. Conditions apply. Details at freedommobile.ca.
This season is a symphony filled with vivid colors, seen on vast drives taken in a Lexus. Experience all that fall has to offer with the craft, confidence, and control of a Lexus.
For details on how you can spend this season driving in a 2024 Lexus NX, visit your local Lexus dealer or lexusontario.ca.
Concerned about the taste and odor of your home's water? Have confidence drinking purified water from Reliance Home Comfort. With over 100,000 five-star online user reviews nationally, trust us to purify your water. Our dedicated experts will assess your needs and recommend the best filtration system for you. For about $1 per day, enjoy purer and better tasting water for all your drinking and cooking needs. So if you're concerned with your home's water,
Call our Reliance.
Conditions apply. See website for details.
439 Pizza Nova. 439 Pizza Nova.
Ciao, I'm Dominic Trimucci, and we're excited to share our limited edition retro merchandise collection in celebration of our 60th anniversary. Remembering that past never looked so good. Don't miss out. Visit pizzanova.com to find out more.
439 Pizza Nova.
When it comes to tough, there's no such thing as second best. It's why we built the 2023 Ford F-150 with available Power Boost full hybrid V6 engine and class-exclusive Pro Power onboard. If you want the truck built with power, capability, and innovation, there's no substitute. There's only F-150. Until November 28th, get up to $5,500 in Black Friday rebates on select 2023 F-150 models. Visit your Toronto area Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
Don't miss the biggest bonus redemption event of the year at Shoppers Drug Mart. It's the redemption event where you get the most for your points. Like if you redeem 70,000 points, you'll get up to $100 off. That's an extra $30 in value. An extra $30 off means an extra gift, an extra treat, or something extra for yourself. The biggest bonus redemption event is on now, exclusively at Shoppers Drug Mart. In-store and online. Exclusions apply.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Scotiabank Arena. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting you set for the tip-off between the Toronto Raptors and the Chicago Bulls. The Raptors rolling in at 7-8, the Bulls at 5-11. This is an in-season tournament game for the Raptors, but they've already been eliminated in their group. Earlier today, the Orlando Magic won their 6th straight game, beating the Boston Celtics. Orlando sitting atop the Raptors group at 3-1. And given the fact that the Raptors have already lost 2 games, this is their 3rd game, Toronto can't finish better than Orlando. And only the top team from each group moves on, with then 2 wildcard teams with the best record after the top in each of the 6 groups. You follow all that? Hey, the Raptors are out. Let's get the starting 5 for the Bulls.
Alex Caruso. Out of USC, a 6'6 forward, number 11, DeMar DeRozan. From USC and Montenegro, a 6'10 center, number 9, is Nikola Vucevic. From UCLA, a 6'5 guard, number 8, is Zach LaVine. And out of North Carolina, a 6'5 guard wearing number 0, Kobe White. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Chicago Bulls is Billy Donovan.
All right, there's the starting 5 for the Chicago Bulls. There was some chatter that Zach LaVine might not play, but he's back tonight and back in the Bulls lineup, and certainly that makes a Chicago team much more dangerous when you've got the weapons they have. Don't look at the record right now. DeRozan, Caruso, LaVine, Vooch. Jonesy, I think this is one of those teams that's perhaps a little bit better than the record indicates. That said, you are what your record is, and this is an important game for the Raptors. Forget about the in-season tournament. This is still game 16. It's a chance to get back to 500. It's a chance to maybe try and start building something, especially after the big comeback. And I think it was big not only in terms of the scoreboard and the standings, but mentally the way they responded, the Raptors, after the debacle on Tuesday to come out with what they did Wednesday was awesome.
I think they realized they just have to play harder. They just have to play harder. They didn't play up to standard on what, Tuesday night in Orlando. They didn't. You know, we talked about it. You're going to get beat if you don't play hard. So they found that out, and they brought it on Wednesday. Hopefully they'll, bring it again tonight. And Eric, interesting, they went 74 games last year without scoring 120 points. They've done it in 2 of the last 3 and won 2 of those.
Well, maybe something to turn around for the Raptors offense. Let's get the starting 5 for the Raptors. Here's Mark Strong.
We get it started at the forward by way of the UK. We're in number 3. Let's hear it for OG Anunoby. At 6'8" from Florida State. We're in number 4. Make some noise for your boy, Scotty Barnes. And yes, the Austrian Hammer. We're in number 19. The And we keep it spicy at the forward, representing Cameroon, number 43, Spicy P, Pascal Siakam. And coach of the Toronto Raptors is Darko Rajakovic.
All right, there we have it. Starting lineups for the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors. Starting lineups brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. The Raptors already should have one in the win column over the Chicago Bulls team. They let one slide in the Windy City, but that said, the NBA's last 2-minute report, Jonesy came out the very next day and said that 2 key plays in that game, which enabled the Bulls to stay alive, which enabled the Bulls to get to the free throw line and stay alive, which enabled the Bulls to get to the free throw line, stay alive, and ultimately win the game, should not have gone against the Raptors, and Toronto should have had that game on ice and should have walked away with the victory. So they owe the Bulls one, let alone potentially owe the league one, by taking care of business tonight on their home floor, and hopefully, as I said earlier, a little chance to get back to 500.
Let's hope if you're the Raptors you can do that. They've had some signature wins. They've had some difficult losses. But at the same time, it's about the long haul and showing improvement. I really like what I've seen. The bench is coming together. Thought Malachi Flynn has been really good. You look at his numbers. Season high in points and rebounds last game. And that's now 10 straight games without multiple turnovers. His minutes from early in the season, like the October games, to now in November have almost doubled. So I like where this team is going, especially with some of their bench guys.
Raptors taking to the floor in their alternate jersey this year. The gold jersey with the black writing, numbers, and trim as Jakob Poeltl stands in the middle against Nikola Vucevic. And we are set to go on a Friday night in Toronto. Bulls win the opening tip. They will start with the ball, and White brings it across center for Chicago. Bounce pass to DeRozan at the elbow near side. He's guarded by Anunoby. Up top to Zach LaVine, covered by Barnes, over to Vooch on the far wing. Above the arc, back over to LaVine. 3 ball is up, no good. Rebound to Poeltl, hands off to Schroeder.
Good start for Toronto. Chicago, one of the teams that has a lot of trouble making shots.
Barnes over to Poeltl on the far side. Yak inside the arc, still holding the ball. Now down low, great find in traffic to OG right under the tin, and calmly lays it in.
Raptors, one of the top teams in the NBA in scoring in the paint.
DeRozan whips it over to Caruso, far corner, triple up off the rim, no good. Rebound to Barnes, and here he comes. Scotty across center. Got a step on LaVine, cut off, kicks out, far corner, and a triple goes down for Anunoby, but not before they call an offensive foul after the pass off on a forearm shiver by Scotty Barnes. Are you kidding me? It wasn't even a charge. They're going to say after the pass, he shoved the forearm. What?
The league's gotten soft, sorry. Our producer, J.R. Manitat, laughing at me, but there's a meme out there on the internet about Jordan. We'll talk about it in a second here as the Raptors bring it front court.
Well, the Bulls just turned it over. See if the Raptors can capitalize. Siakam triple near sideline, no good. So it coulda, shoulda, woulda been 5-zip Raptors. Instead, it's 2-0. Looking up, Jonesy, at the upper level, I think the power might have gone out here in the building. In the upper deck, their lights are all out. I don't know if that impacts anything here on the floor, as the big lights are still shining brightly on the court as Vooch gets the bucket to go on an 18-footer. We're tied 2-2. A lot of the boxes on the upper decks are all dark right now. Raptors turn it over, back the other way come the Bulls, and White with a triple is good. So now Chicago capitalizing on the Raptor miscues on a mini 5-0 run. Poeltl, entry pass, bobbled it, gets it back, lays it in.
Yak has been shooting the ball really, really well.
5-4 Chicago. DeRozan's got it right now, covered by Siakam. Vooch sets a screen. DeRozan goes around it on the far side, driving into the paint. Out on the perimeter to Levine, driving into the paint himself. Went to the tin, got blocked. Raptors pick it up. Here comes Pirtle. Ahead to Siakam. To Anunoby on the left side. OG fouled by White, plus the bucket. 3-point opportunity. And how about the strength from OG Anunoby on that drive?
You know what I like? Pascal Siakam giving the ball up. He did a great job. Barnes with the block at the other end. Pascal did a great job. Might have been able to hold it one more dribble, but Caruso was bearing down on him. Thought it was a great choice by Pascal to give up the ball to a charging Anunoby. Very unselfish basketball.
And Anunoby has his his free throw play Plinko, and it's rebounded by the Bulls as it bounces out. Raptors do lead though 6-5. Vooch, far side, hands off to DeRozan, turns the corner, into the paint, curls around, back out to Vooch, long jumper, far side, no good on a 17-footer. Raptors with the rebound, here they come. Barnes, out to Schroeder on the perimeter. Dennis now straight away goes on the near side to Siakam, over to Barnes in the corner, whips it cross court, left to right, over to Anunoby, far wing, drop it down on the right block, Pirtle. Yak going at Vooch, kicks back out now to Dennis Schroeder. 3-ball is up, no good, down low in traffic, rebound to Barnes. Second chance, Siakam to OG, straight away, wide open, no good, back rim, had a great look.
Good look, Scotty Barnes on the offensive glass, giving them that opportunity.
Raptors still leading 6-5. Caruso at the near elbow, fires a pass far sideline to Levine. Down on the block, far side, it's now Vooch. Yak's leaning on him, Vooch trying to muscle his way down, turns, fires on the fade on the baseline, no good. Siakam with the rebound. Pascal keeps it himself. Into the paint at the free throw line, fires out to Schroeder. Dennis back over to Pascal in the far corner. It's Scotty. 3-ball up for Barnes, busted. Man, oh man, he is starting to hit that with more and more consistency.
Yeah, and he is dialed in tonight. His intensity and urgency looks very much heightened.
White around a Vucevic screen, drives into the paint, went at Yak, turns around, tried to pass out, and they got called for a travel.
He came down, he just got swallowed up. Great switch by Toronto. He gets deep in the paint, Kobe White, and now he's swallowed up by Pirtle. Turns, figures, big guy on me, small guy on Vooch. No, that's Scotty Barnes on Vooch. That's where the switching pays off.
9-5, Raptors by 4. Siakam, far side, just above the far elbow. Still keeping the bounce alive. Kicks out to Schroeder, far side. On the baseline, to OG, to Yak in the middle of the lane. How about that ball movement?
Great job, the hockey assist by Schroeder. OG with some nifty ball handling.
DeRozan in front of the Raptor bench to the baseline. Double team comes, he powers through. Schroeder was there, OG was there, and they're calling the foul on the Raptors as Dennis Schroeder turns around and barks out to the officials. That's a foul right there too. Doing that they got called on Scotty Barnes earlier. He's saying that DeRozan stuck out his forearm.
All he wants is the same call, right?
Consistency.
And on the last trip, the Raptors did a great job. The ball went side to side, and Anunoby really tight with his handle. That's a key for OG. Sometimes he puts it on the floor, gets into traffic and has difficulty. Did a great job that time.
DeRozan misses the first free throw. He put up 33 points against Toronto back on October 27th. Second free throw is clean, 11-6. Raptors on top by 5. Across center comes Schroeder. Over to Barnes, back to Dennis, driving on the far side. All the way to the tin, got by Vooch and laid it in. Man, he turned the corner, saw Seaman, went right at it.
He changes gears so quickly, and he's always going faster than he looks. You know, objects with Schroeder are faster than they look.
Levine drops it to Caruso in the near corner in front of the Raptor bench. To Vooch, covered by Yak. Pirtle holding his ground. Vooch trying to lean down with that shoulder. Cut off on the baseline, kicks back out to the perimeter. Triple, a deep one, DeRozan, air, and it's rebounded by Siakam. Pushes ahead to Barnes. Far side, Scotty. Far corner now, OG along the baseline. He's bumped, and we got a foul on the floor. It's going to go against DeRozan, as Jonesy just said, and we got a timeout on the floor.
Raptors really dialed in offensively. 6 of 9, 6 assists, every field goal assisted, moving the ball, cutting with purpose. This is a good start for Toronto.
13-6, Raptors on top by 7. with 6:55 to go in the opening quarter. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Take a chance, you'll see. You like slots, we've got lots. Blackjack, roulette, take your shots. It's where you want to be.
BetRivers Online Casino has hundreds of slots, live table games, and more.
Take a chance.
Must be 19 plus. Available in Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or someone close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom, wha-bam, zap, turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Just for license 12616.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. First quarter action on Sportsnet 590 The Fan is brought to you by BetRivers. Take a chance. Toronto leading 13-6, and Jonesy, you noted it moments ago, but let's address it again. The offense is clicking. They're moving the ball well. 6 assists on 6 field goals. Almost everybody getting in on the action right now. Siakam's the only one to not score, but he's got a couple assists and 2 rebounds, and it just seems to be good in terms of the energy level right now.
It is. They are playing with tremendous focus at both ends. I mean, Chicago's 2 of 8, and the Raptors have done a good job at both ends of the floor.
Raptors inbound from the far sideline. They end up with OG straight away from the free throw line, curled off the screen and was wide open.
Great after timeout play by Darko Rajakovic. High post entry, they get the split. Chicago goes under, and that's a practice shot for OG.
6.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. The Raptors have more than doubled the Bulls right now at 15-6. Vooch out on the far sideline to White, back to Vooch. Back to White, trying to shake free from Schroeder. Goes back to Vooch on the perimeter, far side, triple no good. Rebound tapped from OG to Pirtle, back to OG.
Schroeder guarded 2 guys on that play at the same time. Did a terrific job of hedging and then contesting the shot.
Trent into the game for Barnes. He's got it right now. Hoists the triple, and it goes down for Gary Trent. And how about the fist bump from Darko Rajakovic on the sideline?
You know, Billy Donovan said from what he knows of Darko, he says, I bet he's got great relationships with his players. And I got to tell you, his post-game celebrations are legendary, Darko, in the locker room.
When he's handing off the chain.
Oh, yeah.
Kobe White, triple, good, and that was a deep one, probably 27 feet straight away. They're going to actually call it 29 feet for Kobe White. That's his second of the game. Raptors have doubled up the Bulls at 18-9. Siakam has it straight away. Got a step on Caruso, got into the paint, faked the pass down to Pirtle, kicks it out instead to OG, busted right in front of the Bulls bench. It's another Anunoby 3.
Great penetration by DeMar. Everybody
by Pascal.
Everybody gravitated toward Pirtle, including DeMar, and they kicked it out.
Vooch, quick one back the other way for the Bulls on a frozen rope hook shot from about 6 feet. That one's good. Raptors leading 21-11. Pascal on the near side, trying to go at Levine. Caruso's trying to cheat in there, so Pascal kicks it out, and unfortunately Schroeder missed a wide open triple.
He's giving it up, Siakam, because he's attracting a double team, and the Raptors are getting good shots.
Well, he's got 4 assists, why not? Levine over to Vucevic, far side, again trying to muscle his way past Pirtle. Fires out to Levine. Levine took one dribble in, step back triple, good. Nope, they're going to call it a long 2, the toe over the line.
It's a tough shot by Zach Levine. That's his shot.
his first bucket of the game. Raptors leading by 8. The lead was as high as 12. It's 21-13. Look out, here comes Pirtle down Main Street, skipping to the tin to lay it in, and another great find from Pascal.
Well, they doubled him, they blitzed him on the screen and roll, and he was able to find his partner Pirtle very easily.
Levine along the baseline, up and under the tin on the reverse layup. There's some athleticism right there.
Yeah.
Game all the way from the far corner. And there's Siakam back the other way. For the Raptors, he had his man pinned down under the tin. Jonesy caught it on another nice entry pass. That one from Schroeder and laid it in.
Tremendous activity by Pascal on and off the ball.
And now a steal at midcourt. Trent's got it. Goes at Caruso the other way. Lays it up and in. The Raptors are rolling right now at 27-15. And Billy Donovan wants a timeout.
Great job by Gary Trent Jr. in the passing lane. He's known for his offense, but his defense is sneaky good too. Terrific job there on the steal and then playing through the contact.
3:43 to go in the opening quarter. The Raptors leading by 12 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Do more in a reliable Subaru, they said. Enjoy more time together to go more places with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, they said. More award-winning safety for more peace of mind, but to listen to one song over and over again with fantastic acoustics. I love you, family, but the singing, nobody warned me about the singing.
Hurry to your local Subaru dealer and get more out of every kilometer this fall, including more karaoke.
Amazon's got the best deals on Black Friday. The best deals are on Cyber Monday. Friday comes first when it comes to saving. Monday's worth the wait for what you've been craving. Deals so good it'll feel like stealing. Real cool message, could you make it less appealing? What's with the beef? You can get that too. Won't you call us? Triggering you. Whichever day you're shopping on, you'll save a bunch at Amazon on Black Friday. Monday too.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Back at Scotiabank Arena, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. First quarter action here, brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. The Raptors leading the Bulls 27-15. You couldn't ask for a better start for the Raptors, shooting 75% on 12 of 16 with 11 assists on those 12 field goals. They are taking it to the Bulls.
16 of the 27 in the paint. Raptors a top 10 team in terms of scoring in the paint. And I said this before, listen, Darko's got some old school stuff going. I love it, traditional stuff. Play inside out, not, as we talked about with Chuck on the podcast, not necessarily outside in. Take the two when they're available.
White brings it across center for Chicago. He's hounded by Dennis Schroeder. Throws an over-the-shoulder pass to Vucevic. Trying to go at Precious Achiuwa now, who's into the ballgame. Levine's got it straight away. OG with him. Levine drives. OG stays with him, but Levine kisses it off glass with a scoop. Another athletic play from Zach Levine. He's been in those trade rumors, man.
Yeah, people trying to trade him out of Chicago. You got a player like that, why would you get rid of him? Like, all these people with these trade rumors.
Driving and switching hands. Went from right to left, midair. Dennis Schroeder. Chicago three-ball coming back the other way, no good. That was Levine. Raptors with the rebound, leading 29-17. On the near side, it's Gary Trent. Trent to Anunoby on the wing near side. Throws it into Siakam. A lot of contact there from Levine as Pascal falls to the floor and the Raptors turn it over. Back the other way, we got a foul coming in as Patrick Williams is fouled on a driving attempt, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Pascal wondering why there wasn't a whistle on the other side.
Well, I thought there was a foul, but the bigger issue is the timing of the pass and the location of it. Sometimes if that's the case, Maybe you bounce pass entry into the post where the ball is lower, kind of like a football receiver where it's down and away and he's the only one that can catch it. Maybe bounce it into the post there. With the ball in the air, that's when people close, be it basketball, football, whatever. So maybe try to take some of that time.
Hopefully that's what Stephon Diggs is doing against the Eagles this week. When the Bills play the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, Jonesy. Big game, especially after the Dolphins won earlier today over the Jets. We had more action yesterday on American Thanksgiving Day. Big win for the Green Bay Packers, knocking off the Detroit Lions. We're getting down to the crunch time situation here as we get set to enter December in the National Football League. And heck, for that matter, we're almost at the quarter point of this season. It's flying by. A couple of free throws good for Patrick Williams. 29-19, Raptors leading by 10. Barnes back into the ballgame. Inside the arc out on the far side, hands off now to Trent. Back over on the far side to Malachi Flynn, coming off a big game against the Pacers. Cross-court pass to Pascal. 3-ball, no good, back rim. High for the rebound, Precious. Reset time, fresh 24, check that 14, and a triple is good for Gary Trent. Let's bring back the fresh 24.
Well, great job by Achua on the offensive rebound, not throwing up just some contested shot. Kicks it to Pascal, who said, hey, there's an open three guy in Trent.
DeRozan for the Bulls straight away. Malachi Flynn trying to stay with him. DeMar passes out to Dosunmu, coming through the lane. Dropping now into the corner, and a foul comes in, and it's going to go against Gary Trent. A little push on Torrey Craig.
That's their first foul in the last 2 minutes.
Tremendous energy right now for Toronto. They really are on both ends of the floor, playing with real intensity.
Raptors up 32-19. It's their largest lead. Jumper, Williams, no good. Rebound to Precious Achua. Ahead to Siakam, to the trailer. Barnes, he's going to take the three, miss it. Track down his own miss, though. Get hit in the face, and we got a foul coming in on Craig. And fans behind us screaming out their great hustle, and that was fantastic, Jonesy, by Scotty Barnes to follow his shot.
It's the old adage, follow your shot. You're the first one that knows where it's going and if it's missed.
Flynn to Precious, handing it off on the perimeter to Trent, back to a cutting Precious to the tin for a two-hand jam. And another timeout for the Bulls. 34-19. The Raps are rolling.
Toronto has done a great job of just increasing their scoring. You know, I talked about the 130 points this year. When the Raptors are able to shoot the ball well, that's something we've identified. When they're above 37% from behind the arc, they're 5-2. When they're below that, they're 2-6. Making the three ball, because you know what they're going to get in the paint.
Opens up the rest of the floor.
It opens up the rest of the floor. But they're going to get the ball into the paint. They're going to score on the inside. They're going to score enough on the inside that they just need to augment it a little with some three-point shooting. They don't have to live and die on their three-point shooting. They need it, but it's not the be-all and end-all for them.
Right now, 4 of 10 from distance. Trent's got 2 off the bench. And Siakam, I thought he had one, Jonesy. I thought Pascal had a triple earlier.
No, he missed one. I know he took one and missed one. 0-2. That's
Not bad.
That's the only thing that really hasn't been working for him.
Yep.
You know, he's
but at this point, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
It was an issue when he wasn't doing anything else. Now, he's starting to find his groove in so many different facets. 34-19, Raptors by 15, largest lead of the game, still shooting over 71%. Chicago with the ball out of the timeout. DeRozan curling into the lane, floats it up and gets it to go. Man, that's a scorer's touch right there.
He gets buckets. That's what it's about.
That's his first field goal, and it comes just over a minute to play in the opening quarter. On the near side, driving toward the paint, Pascal. Keeping it himself, and as he curled into the lane, the ball was flicked out of his hands. He tried to go after it, and he's going to pick up a foul. And now Precious Achua saying to the officials, how about the foul that came out on Chicago on my guy Pascal? Raptors have not been happy thus far with the whistle they've been getting from Kevin Scott.
Darko Rajakovic talking about it now. There's a lot of contact there on Pascal's back net. Yes, he's initiating some of it, but boy, there's pushback too from the offense, from the defense for sure.
A little poetic justice as Torrey Craig misses the first free throw. Second one clean. Raptor lead is 34-22. We're under a minute to go in the opening quarter. 54 seconds to be exact as Malachi Flynn brings it across center. Darko Rajakovic calling out the play. He's asking him to wait, trying to milk the clock, slow down a little bit. Over to Achua. To Trent. Gary, step back on the wing. Near side, three ball is good. Busted. How about that? And are they going to call it a long two? Or is it a three? We'll clean it up in a second. I saw one official signal three, another said two, and I just saw the courtside officials here. The official scores throw up a two, so that's going to be a long deuce for Gary. Drummond in the lane for Chicago. Misses a short hook in the lane. Raptors with the rebound. They'll hold for the last shot. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Flynn's got it. Malachi with Dosunmu in front of him. Over to Trent straight away. Gary now over on the far wing on a switch. He's got Drummond. 4 seconds. Triple is up and no good just before the buzzer, and that'll do it at the end of the first quarter. The Raptors up 14.
How about the bench really contributing? Malachi with a strong floor game right now. Precious a couple points and rebounds, and Gary Trent leads all Raptor scorers off the bench with 10.
All scorers in the game even, Jonesy. Trent with those 10. He's the only player on either side in double figures, and the Raptors lead by double figures. Again, a 14-point advantage, 36-22 as we get set for the second quarter, which will come next on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
College basketball is coming to Toronto with a doubleheader on December 9th at the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Come watch Toronto's own and reigning National Player of the Year, Zach Edey, lead Purdue in a showdown against Alabama, followed by an exciting matchup between TCU and Clemson. Don't miss your chance to be part of Zach Edey's much-anticipated return to the Six. Secure your seats now. Tickets for the Hall of Fame Series Toronto are available at HOFseries.com. That's HOFseries.com.
Hey, Toronto sports fans. Heading to a game this season? The Bentwood at the Second City is the perfect spot for a pregame drink and bite. Why not join us for a burger and a pint, or tacos and a pint, or spaghetti and meatballs and a pint? You get it. Located at 1 York, steps away from the big game. With on-site parking, over a dozen screens, and a fast, fun menu, we're the perfect destination before or after the game. Visit BentwoodToronto.com.
Everyone loves a big save. The Sport Check Black Friday event is on now with incredible savings of up to 70% off all your favorite brands. Save big on sporting equipment, jackets, footwear, and more. Say it with sport, in-store or online at sportcheck.ca. Selection and availability may vary by location.
Sleeves up! It's now easier than ever to book your flu shot at one of our 1,100 pharmacies. Book your flu shot at shoppersdrugmart.ca/flu or with the PC Health app. Subject to vaccine availability, limitations apply.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting set to start the second quarter. The Raptors leading 36-22. Jonesy, we've talked a lot about the offense. Anything else beyond that stand out to you?
Well, the fact that the Raptors really are, Chicago's 8 of 18, but they've had to work for everything. You know, they're shooting 45%, it's decent, but Toronto hasn't given them anything easy.
Toronto with the ball to start the quarter, and they just called a travel on Grady Dick. Is that like a rookie on the radar? Is that what we talk about every year, Jonesy?
Listen, the other night, I talked to a Raptor official that told me they saw 5 travel calls on Buddy Hield that led to 11 points that weren't called. If Grady traveled, great. But you know me, I'm going to say it, call it all the time. DeMar just traveled there to give the ball up.
Relatively rare, too, to see a travel called on a pass. Grady wasn't shooting. He wasn't going into an offensive move. He was just swinging the ball. Bulls came up empty on 2 separate shots on the other end. The jumper initially not good, and the tip back no good from Patrick Williams either. Raptors with the rebound. Chicago shooting only 40%. Achua at the far elbow. Whips a pass to a cutting Barnes, who dunks it down. Great vision from Achua.
You know who's impressed me the last few years? It's Precious Achua. He was put in a box in Miami. Nick Nurse gave him freedom. He used it. He used it responsibly.
DeRozan jumper, no good. Sorry, Jonesy.
No, now he's in a new system. It's taken him a while. He's been injured. But how good has he looked the last little while?
You're right. He's starting to prove that he's not 1 or 2 dimensional. He might have 3 or 4 dimensions to what he does. He had an offensive foul going against the Bulls, a loose ball foul on Andre Drummond. They're saying that he hooked the arm of Scotty Barnes as Barnes and Drummond were battling for the rebound, so wipe out the Chicago possession. And we're coming the other way with the Raptors, leading by 16. Achua, crossover on Drummond to the tin. He's bumped on a pass off. Man, I thought we were going to see a poster. Achua went down hard on the baseline, but again, it's on a pass off, so it'll be sideline out of bounds for the Raptors. Not free throws. As Boucher, who's going to throw it in? They're going to have Grady Dick do the honors. Just to the right of the Bulls bench. Dick gets it into Flynn. Over to Achua. Precious holding the ball for a moment on the far side, hands off now to Barnes. He's on the wing. He's got Torrey Craig in front of him. Turns the corner into the paint, cut off, takes the jumper himself, missed it from the free throw line, and Drummond with the rebound. DeMar. Barnes is on him. He's on the near sideline. Double team, and a little help comes from Grady Dick. Now it's back to one-on-one against Scotty. DeMar dips the shoulder, curls to lane, misses the shot, tipped in by Drummond, and the Bulls come away with 2. Man, he is a load up there, Andre Drummond.
He is.
Back the other way, Achua goes right at Drummond, into the chest of the big man, and Drummond ends up backpedaling, and Precious lays it in. Wow. 40-24, 16-point lead. Dosunmu, jumper from 10 feet, shot at about 15. Barnes to Boucher on the wing far side. He thought about the 3 and opted instead to pass back to Barnes. Scotty lob to Boucher, and he missed it on the alley-oop. That would have been beautiful.
Yeah, it was a tough angle.
And the Bulls just turned it over in the backcourt, and from his backside, Chris Boucher has the ball end up in his hands. He stands up and dunks it down. Wow.
Torrey Craig coming up limping, but good job by Chris. Always around the ball.
Boucher looks a little gimpy himself right now, too. Keep an eye on that. Dosunmu up fake, passes out from the far corner to the near perimeter. Driving into the paint, Javon Carter misses the floater. That one no good. And the Raptors with the rebound. Grady Dick, far sideline, across center. Drops it on the wing now to Barnes. Scotty, right to left over to Achua. Now on the near side, it's Flynn. Malachi. Got a step on Carter, into the lane, went right, came back left, kicks back out. Scotty Barnes straight away 3 ball, no good. Grady in there trying to battle for the rebound, couldn't get to it, but I like the fact that he went up against Drummond.
Send one guy to the offensive glass, you never know what happens.
Bulls shooting just 1 of 8 in this quarter. DeRozan into the lane, kicks out to Dosunmu, misses the 3 ball, rebound. Flying in out of nowhere is Craig to keep it alive. Here comes DeRozan. Down Main Street, vintage DeMar as he extends the arms out. And are they calling an offensive foul? I believe they are. Offensive foul on DeRozan, and then a technical foul on DeRozan. And another tech coming in on Andre Drummond. No, hold on. They're going to call Grady Dick, Jonesy, a non-shooting foul on the ground on DeRozan. They're not giving DeRozan the continuation. Then it's a tech on DeRozan and a tech on Drummond.
So the Raptors going to get 2 shots, and Chicago gets a side out of bounds.
Yep.
And on that part, DeRozan is foul. Technical foul on DeRozan on the player.
Flynn knocks down the first technical free throw. And the other one coming here in a second. DeRozan not happy. Second one good as well, so the Raptors have opened up a 20-point lead at 44-24. DeRozan's going to come out of the ball game right now. I think Billy Donovan wants him to cool down.
That's a good move by Billy Donovan. That's if we're going to make a comeback tomorrow, you need to be part of it. You can't get thrown out.
Vooch hands off on the perimeter. Dosunmu driving into the paint to the baseline, kicks over in the far corner to Craig to Levine, driving on the far side, weaving through traffic, and to the tin, he lays it in.
Even that layup, very tough, contested, had to drive through traffic.
Boucher from the sideline. That thing looked like it came out of a catapult. He missed it, and quickly back the other way come the Bulls. Javon Carter driving on the baseline near side. To Vooch down Main Street, lays it in, and a quick timeout from Darko. I like that timeout too.
Well, Chicago only had 10 points in the paint before the last 2 buckets. Raptors have did a really nice job early on, kind of playing traditional. Pack the paint, beat me from the outside. Chicago, not a good three-point shooting team. They're 24th right now in the game. They're 2 of 8. I like the Raptors' strategy.
44-28. The Raptors leading by 16 with 8:07 to go in the second quarter. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590. The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Let's get jerseys. Let's get jerseys.
Right now, become a Tangerine client with a savings account, and you could get a free Raptors jersey.
We want jerseys.
Finally, a savings account worth cheering for.
Jerseys. Jerseys.
Find out how to score a jersey at tangerine.ca/Raptors. Tangerine, that's forward banking. Available to new clients who open and fund an eligible account while supplies last. Conditions apply.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
McDonald's has the gift that keeps giving. To Peter, your dog sitter, and Claire, who shovels your stairs. And to you, when you spend $25 on McDonald's gift cards and restaurants, get a coupon for a free Big Mac or McChicken. See details at participating McDonald's restaurants.
Black Friday continues at Real Canadian Superstore with deals on electronics, home, and holiday staples, like lean ground beef at $3.68 a pound, and 10 pounds of farmers market carrots or onions at $3.99. Until November 29th. See flyer for details.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Back at Scotiabank Arena, Paul Jones, Eric Smith with you. Second quarter, 8:07 to go in the frame. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. Earlier today, Orlando blowing out Boston, 113-96, a 17-point win for the Magic, who've now won 6 straight. Phoenix blowing out Memphis, 110-89. In the first quarter, with about 90 seconds to play, Miami on top of the Knicks by 124-23. And just underway in Indianapolis, it's an early lead for the Pacers over the Pistons. Houston on top of Denver early, 13-7. Also early, 10-10, Wizards and Bucks. Later on tonight, we've got the Spurs and the Warriors in the final game of the night in LA. It's the Clippers hosting the Pelicans. Again, it's the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. Grady Dick to Precious Achiuwa straight away, covered by Vucevic. Now at the far elbow, Precious finding Barnes. Late in the shot clock, it's down to 4. Down Main Street, Precious. Oh, and he had a chance to dunk it. And I don't know if he just let it butterfinger or whatever.
He changed his mind. He was going to lay it in.
He went left-handed and he blew it.
And then he went to dunk it, turned it over, and it was too late.
But why did he switch hands? Why is he going left? Triple for Levine, and that's salt in the wounds.
I think Precious just took off and had the left-handed footwork. Everything was great except for the finish.
Well, Jonesy, don't look now, but that's a 7-0 Chicago run. The Raptors have the lead at 20. The Bulls have ripped off 7 straight. Grady Dick moving right to left through the lane, kicking out for a 3-ball to Scotty. He missed that one. The run could continue for the Bulls.
Raptors did get into the paint the last couple of possessions. They've been stuck on the outside.
Levine, double team, far side. Passes out to Vooch, up top to Carter, Javon Carter. Crossover, step back, thought about the 3, instead gives it up to Dosunmu, and he missed the 3. Battling for the rebound, Scotty Barnes comes away from the fray. Toronto needs something here.
They need to get the ball inside and then go from there.
They got 4 dudes getting set to check in. Down low, they are inside, turning and missing, but fouled is Chris Boucher. It's going to go against Osumu, and Chris is going to head to the stripe.
Amazing what happens when the ball goes inside. Great job that time by Scotty Barnes, driving it and getting it most of the way to the bucket.
So Boucher steps to the stripe. And Jonesy, I got to send a shout out. We do it from time to time. Shout out to Jackson Smith, making the Bantam boys basketball team. He'll be wearing the Aldershot Lion jersey with pride this year.
Love it, love it.
Chris Boucher drops down the first free throw. Still looking for some training with Paul Jones. Although it's getting cold, you're going to have to find a gym. I saw flurries out there today.
Yeah, no, the driveway sessions are done. We'll have to get in the game, get in the gym, and I'll give him some stuff that'll keep him on the court. Stuff that the coaches like. See that guy you're covering? Yeah. Pick him up. As soon as he gets out of the locker room, I want you in his kitchen.
Boucher knocks down both free throws. Raptors lead 46-31. Levine, wing far side, gets to the near elbow, up fake, sets the feet, drops it down. He's cooking. He's got 11. Bulls trying to gain a little momentum here. Still only shooting 40%, but last 3-4 minutes of game action have been decent. Anunoby to a wide open Schroeder in front of the Bulls bench. He had all day missed it. Pirtle gets it back though. Second chance opportunity for the Raptors. Driving along the baseline now. Schroeder got into the paint, got gobbled up, got the ball back, kicks it out. For a Trent 3 ball, it went out to Anunoby, who made the extra pass to Gary, and he ripped the cords on 3.
Isn't it interesting? And we got a flopping call fouled on Javon Carter. Isn't it interesting that Anunoby, a pretty good three-point shooter, gave the ball up, knowing Trent was 2 of 3 on 3 balls tonight.
Javon Carter right now saying, "What'd I do? Where? What are you talking about?" And I'll be honest, I was looking at the body language between Trent and Anunoby. They were sharing a nice laugh and a smile after that pass from that unselfish play of Anunoby. I had my head turned to the right, didn't see to the left in the backcourt what happened with Javon Carter. And I haven't seen a replay from our TV friends or on the big board.
I don't think anybody saw it except for Evan Scott.
Well, the Raptors had their issues early in the game with Kevin Scott, and now the Bulls having their issues with Evan Scott. Yes, they are 2 different people, folks, because Evan Scott was the one that called the technicals on Drummond and DeRozan. Another Levine bucket. That's a triple from straight away, and Levine's kind of keeping the Bulls in it, at least within breathing distance. They're down 14 still, but he's their offense. He's got 16 of their 36. Pirtle out to Trent. Another 3 ball for Gary. That one's no good. Maybe he was kind of feeling it, and that'll bring him down to earth a little.
You know, shoot it when you're open. The shooter feels it. You live with that one.
50-36. Raptors by 14. 5:19 till half. 3 ball from the corner, no good for Kobe White. We're coming the other way.
White had a great look. DeMar gave it up.
Far corner. Trent on the sideline. To Siakam on the post, going at White with the mismatch. Whips it out on the perimeter. Nobody was there. He was looking for somebody on the wing near side, and it just sort of split Raptor shooters, and it ended up going right at center court towards Ron Foxcroft. The off-court official is picked up by Caruso. That'll be a turnover for the Raptors, their 7th. Chicago with only 4 turnovers thus far in the game.
And they're one of the top teams in the NBA in scoring points off turnovers. So the Raptors right now, even though there's 7 turnovers, only 6 points.
Levine, another long jumper goes in. I thought he carried the ball coming off a screen. He freed himself for a long jumper, and it goes down for 18 feet.
You thought correctly. The carry now is a move in the NBA. It's become a way to free yourself.
50-38. Again, the Raptors were up by 20. It's been cut to 12. Schroeder on the near side to OG. Anunoby, step back, jumper, clean. How about that, Zach LaVine, as OG gives it right back to him. It was a 2, not a 3, but it was a pretty shot nevertheless.
Well, OG used his strength also.
And OG just pestered LaVine into turning that ball over. And the Raptors pick it up and go the other way, and we're going to have a clear path, Jonesy.
Transition
Transition
foul.
take, excuse me.
Yeah, finally. I mean, that was obvious. OG did a great job defending Levine, tried to put it on the floor, kind of bobbled it, and that was going to be a 2-on-1, even though Caruso was hauling tail to try and get back. I like the fact that I'm not sure what there is to discuss.
We have a transition take foul call on number 8, Zach Levine of the Bulls. That is his first personal foul in the game, team foul number 4.
That's the first one in Toronto's favor this year. It was all the rage last year, and I guess they got their point across because they've softened up on it. I've seen a few more that could have been.
Schroeder goes to the line with the Raptors up 14. Hits the free throw. It's a 15-point lead. And now to be sidelined out of bounds on the near side. Anunoby's going to throw in and do the honors for the Raptors. Tosses it in to Schroeder. Dennis directing traffic. Over to Siakam, Pascal. Driving now on the far side. Goes over the shoulder with the pass to a cutting Pirtle who lays it in. Great two-man game with the bigs.
Well, Pascal knew he was coming, and how about the catch and sweep by Pirtle to get the ball to his left side and lay it in.
Yak's got 8 in the ballgame. Pascal with 7 assists. Pirtle trying to stand his ground defensively, and DeRozan goes in and lays it right in. DeMar a little bit slow to get back in the play after he fell down to the ground. Raptors had a 5-on-4 far corner. Triple no good for Trent. Ball tapped around though. It's picked up by the Bulls. Caruso tapped it. He's trying to chase it down as it went the length of the floor, and he couldn't get to it in time. It was on the baseline. Caruso saying, Schroeder just bumped me a little bit, which is why I fell out of bounds, but the officials maybe didn't see it because they weren't back in time.
I don't know if he wanted to bump out of bounds or a grab at half court as it turned into a foot race.
All right.
That being said, not too many people I would put my money on in a foot race against Dennis Schroeder.
Raptors leading by 15, 55-40 with 3:30 to go until half. Schroeder driving on the far side, stops just below the far elbow, pulls up for the jumper and got the friendly roll. It hit the rim and then crawled over. Schroeder with the bucket, he's got 8. 57-40. DeRozan whips into the corner near side to Caruso. Drives into lane, stops on a dime, runs into Siakam's chest. And they call the foul on Pascal. He literally was standing flat-footed, put up his hand, and it looked like a clean stuff, no?
Well, he stood there. Caruso leaned in.
Now, I just read Darko's lips. He looked at Evan Scott and said, it's a good call. He's not going to review it, even though Pascal wants the review. Barnes is going to come back into the ball game for Gary Trent.
Those are the ones where the offensive player gives a fake, the defender responds but doesn't lose his balance or his equilibrium and kind of holds his ground and doesn't move forward. But because he's moved, when the offensive player leans in and there's contact, it makes it appear as the defender has created the contact even though he hasn't.
Caruso hits both free throws, so the Raptor lead is 15. Anunoby at the far elbow. Whips a pass into the paint to Pirtle, who turns, fires with a hook over Vooch, and it rolled off the rim. Tough break there for Yak, pretty decent look. Chicago down 15. Levine pushing off on Barnes. Scotty gets back into position. Levine comes around a Vooch screen, trying to weave through traffic, turns around, passes out to Vucevic. Up top now to DeRozan. Shot clock at 7. DeMar at the elbow, near side. Jumper up, rolled off the rim. Anunoby with the rebound. Raptors push ahead. Here comes Schroeder. Over to Pascal on the near side. Inside the arc. Backing down. Double team comes. Kicks out to Schroeder. And as he drove in, he kind of whipped an underhand pass over to Anunoby, but he threw it far too high, and he knows it. That was his fault there. Anunoby had no chance to get to that one. Tough break for the Raptors as they've now turned it over 8 times. It'll be Chicago ball out of the timeout.
That's the one thing that I would say that has been an issue for Toronto this season, the turnovers.
Yep.
Far too many, and far too many live ball turnovers at inopportune times.
2:21 to go until half. Raptors lead 57-42. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Monte Carlo Inn, your home sweet home.
Monte Carlo Inns would like to thank the many of you for visiting our hotels over the last several months. Monte Carlo Inns is very proud of our Made in Canada brand and are delighted to continue to be your home away from home for quality accommodations and functional meeting facilities in Southern Ontario. To save on your next stay with us or to book your next event space, book directly at MonteCarloInns.com.
Monte Carlo Inn.
All right, everyone. Step up and down. Left foot, right foot. You're climbing up a trail. Now back in your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and getting active in the real world. Work those abs. Driving right through the mud and left and right. Keep that core engaged and bend at the knees as you load more into your Subaru. Windows down. Take in that outdoor air and park.
Get more value out of every kilometer at your local Subaru dealer, starting with award-winning safety.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 2:21 to go until half. Raptors leading 57-42. Toronto still going at a 59% clip. And it's been a balanced attack thus far. Gary Trent still the leading scorer for Toronto with 13 on the other side. Zach LaVine has 18, but the Raptors doing a solid job, Jonesy, in this first half on both ends.
Well, I default to the fact that the Raptors have really controlled the paint, outscoring Chicago 28-16 in the paint and forcing a team that is not great from the outside, particularly from three, to shoot the ball in a contested fashion.
Kobe White will bring it across center for Chicago. Schroeder's in front of him. Kicks it out to Vucevic, over to DeRozan. DeMar turning the corner, trying to go down Main Street. Went right, turns back left, gives it up to LaVine. LaVine driving toward the baseline, fires out to the perimeter to White. White now drives into the paint. Went left, turns around, bumped, passes out to Vooch, cross court to Caruso, three ball, and it's good. Man, oh man, the Bulls really worked that one. The lead again is down to 12, 57-45. It was as high as 20 in this quarter. It's at 12 right now. It hasn't been in single digits since the first quarter. Anunoby, three ball, contested by Vooch, and he just slumps the shoulders like, are you kidding me? As Anunoby buried it from the north side.
Great job. It's the NBA, Vooch. You should know. You've been around a long time. It's a league of made contested shots.
60-45. Raptors. Back-to-back games now. Jonesy going 60-plus in the first half. Three ball far corner as Kobe White answers back.
Got to contest that. He's one of their few three-point shooters out there.
He's got 3 in this ball game. 9 total points. Schroeder driving down toward the right block. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Jakob Poeltl on a moving screen.
Well, it is. I wish people would understand this. It is a legal, quote-unquote, moving screen. When a guy's running to the basket, if the guard happens to get in his slip screen, he's not doing it on purpose.
LaVine, pull-up triple, far sideline, no good. Raptors stand tall defensively. We're under a minute to go here in the first half. Toronto by 12. Scotty Barnes, far side, goes up top to Schroeder. Whip it over to Siakam in the near corner to Anunoby. Down low in the near side to Poeltl. Trying to go at Vooch, backing down. Lost handle, gets it back to OG. Anunoby over to Schroeder, driving into the paint. Tried to pass out again, and Schroeder, Jonesy, a couple of times now in this game, his passes are like 5 feet too high or 5 feet to the left.
Well, he's passing it with one hand, and he's not looking. That's the issue right now. He's not looking.
9 turnovers in the first half. It's the only thing the Raptors haven't done well, leading by 12, shooting 59%. DeRozan at the free throw line, out to White, far side. White gets into the paint, drops it down low to Vooch, and it goes off his shins, picked up by Pirtle. So the Raptors again trying to take advantage of a Chicago turnover. Darko wanted last shot, but Schroeder saw something and he turned the corner onto the baseline, tried to float it up, he was fouled, and we're gonna have 2 free throws coming now for Dennis Schroeder. It'll leave time on the clock for the Bulls with 11 seconds to go to try and answer back, but even better for the Raptors, a chance to get free points on the board at the stripe.
Yeah, I like the fact that the Raptors, as you said, they put up 60. Chicago's shooting percentage starting to climb a little bit. They've still kind of shut them down, but got to close out better and contest the shots a little bit better.
End of the first quarter, Chicago was at 8 of 18. They're now 10 of 22. So the percentage is pretty much the same, though, Jones. That's one good thing. It was 44.4 at the end of one. It's 45 right now. It just had been down below 40, so they've kind of gained a little steam here late in this frame. Schroeder knocks down both free throws. And again, 11 seconds for the Bulls as they inbound. On the far side, DeRozan with that far sideline across center. Clock down to 6 seconds. DeRozan straight away. Turns, fires, contested over Anunoby. Oh, man. Late whistle comes in on Anunoby. Now Darko's looking up at the big board. He wants the replay. The bench looking as well.
Well, the angle that we saw on the big board, I didn't think there was a pressure there. Smart by Darko, because what they called was a touch on the elbow. So now if they go over, that's what everybody will center on, not
was challenging
body or feet or anything else.
We've got 1.4 seconds to go in the first half as Kevin Scott and Evan Scott come over and put on the headsets, and they will communicate with the replay center. Certainly would be a big play for the Raptors to wipe out the opportunity for DeRozan to chop a couple more off the Raptor current 14-point lead. DeRozan in this first half has only been to the free throw line twice, and he's only got 5 points in the ballgame. It's been a quiet first half for DeRozan. It's been pretty much all Zach LaVine and very little else from a Chicago perspective. DeRozan with 5, Caruso with 5, Vooch has 6. The Bulls bench only 5 total. We're getting a look at the replay right now from our TV friends.
Well, the one replay you can't really tell.
On a wide lens, you can't see it at all.
Yeah, we need a side view.
I still haven't seen a clear angle, and that's the tough thing. Here's one, Jonesy, from our TV friends. OG does not touch DeMar.
There's at least a foot between them.
He does not touch his arm. I don't know why the replay's taking this long.
Why? I'll tell you why. Because the referee's ego is looking for something to justify the call.
Well, we're going to get the official word here in a second.
That's what it is. This should be strictly in the hands of Secaucus. Strictly.
Here we go. Kevin Scott about to make the announcement.
After review, the call on the floor stands. The challenge is unsuccessful. It was not clear and conclusive that the defender did not make illegal contact to the elbow during the jump shot attempt. So therefore, the call stands on the floor as called. It'll be 2 shots by DeRozan.
It wasn't clear and conclusive?
It was not clear and conclusive. So what
Jonesy, I saw the replay where he was at least 4 to 6 inches, you said a foot, away from his arm. How is that not clear and conclusive? Somebody get me a freeze frame and send me a picture of what I saw in the replay on the TV broadcast. How is that not clear and conclusive? Poetic justice. Ball don't lie.
That.
Can you explain that to me?
I can't. And I would have called a flop on DeMar.
Yeah, because he wasn't touched.
I would have called a flop.
Ball don't lie. DeRozan goes 0 of 2, and the score is what it should be at the half. Raptors by 14. I don't get it. I'm telling you, if anybody's listening or has access to it, give me a freeze frame of that. Tell me that wasn't conclusive. Raptors leading 62-48 at the half. BetRivers Sportsbook and Casino is here, and it's your home for chance this basketball season. Download the app featuring thousands of action-packed bets, thrilling slots, and exciting table games for you to enjoy all season long. BetRivers and Raptors basketball on Sportsnet. It's time to take a chance. Must be 19 plus. Available in Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or someone close to you, contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. Raptors up by 14 at the half. When we come back, we'll get some halftime stats, then our halftime interview with the Swersk. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
The secret to my super strength? A mega-calorie diet. And my super strong muscles are exactly what Ed and Kate needed. They wanted a backyard with a tiki bar. You know the vibe. They were approved for a home renovation loan. And I got these powerful hands dirty. Their backyard is now glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. FSR license 12616.
Did you see this? The Rogers Wrapped in Red event is back with exciting deals.
Really?
It says right here, you compare 5G mobile and Ignite internet plans, each starting at $55 a month.
What?
You want the fine print? For 24 months after auto-pay discount for mobile. New activations only.
All of that? Amazing.
But how will we gift wrap a plan?
There's a bag for everything these days.
Our really, really exciting Black Friday deals are here. Visit Rogers.com or a Rogers store for details.
Have you wondered what driving a 2023 Lincoln Nautilus would be like? Now's the chance to find yours. For a limited time at Downtown Lincoln, you can finance the Nautilus at just 0.99%. That's right, financing at 0.99 APR until the end of November. So don't wonder what premium luxury feels like. Experience it now. Find your Lincoln at Downtown Lincoln. Until November 30th, finance a 2023 Lincoln Nautilus at 0.99% APR for up to 5 years. Cash prices start at $63,005 plus tax and licensing.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you at the half. The Raptors leading the Bulls 62-48 in the first half. 14 points for OG Anunoby, going along with 3 rebounds and a couple of assists. Dennis Schroeder had 10. 7 assists, a couple of rebounds for Pascal Siakam. Toronto as a team shooting 58.5%. Gary Trent off the bench had 13 on the other side. Top scorer in the ballgame, Zach LaVine with 18. But the Bulls, again, trailing by 14. They were down by as many as 20. This game hasn't been within single digits since the first quarter. When we come back, you're going to get a chance to hear from an old friend, an old colleague, Chuck Swirsky. The radio voice of the Bulls is on tap next on Toronto Raptors basketball, presented by Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors and their fans, on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
College basketball is coming to Toronto with a doubleheader on December 9th at the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Come watch Toronto's own and reigning National Player of the Year, Zach Edey, lead Purdue in a showdown against Alabama, followed by an exciting matchup between TCU and Clemson. Don't miss your chance to be part of Zach Edey's much-anticipated return to the Six. Secure your seats now. Tickets for the Hall of Fame Series Toronto are available at HOFseries.com. That's HOFseries.com.
At Toyota, we build quality vehicles with you in mind. I mean, it's not like we're always thinking about you. We're not obsessed or anything. We just know you value your 9 to 5 as much as your 5 to 9. And with the reliable RAV4 always ready to roll, you're capable of making the most of both. It's time to make every moment count. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2024 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive from $95 weekly for 64 months at 7.29% APR with $3,500 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today. FYI, still thinking about you.
Enjoy the classic taste of the holidays at Tim's with the new non-alcoholic Bailey's flavored holiday menu. Whether you're hanging holiday lights or driving up to your folks, you can enjoy your Tim's and Bailey's anytime, anywhere at participating restaurants in Canada.
This is the sound of me at my local Metro, picking up Platinum Grill Canadian Angus top sirloin roasts and steaks. Just $5.99 per pound, but only until November 29th. Get everything for this holiday season at your local Metro or online at metro.ca.
Go all in on savings during Sunwing Vacations Black Friday sale. With door-crashing deals on top destinations in Cuba, Mexico, and so much more. These kinds of savings turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Our Black Friday deals will be gone before you know it. So dive into savings by November 27th with your travel agent or
Black Friday is back, and every day feels like Friday, where you can find Nissan Rogue's impressive fuel economy and standard safety shield with offers that will make you very, very glad it's Friday. During Nissan's Black Friday event, lease the 2023 Rogue from $89 weekly for only 24 months. In stock now. SV all-wheel drive for $387 monthly at 4.99% with $3,795 down. Conditions apply.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Arena. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you at the half. The Raptors leading the Bulls 62-48. A little bit earlier, in fact, yesterday, on the latest edition of Smith and Jones, Jonesy and I had a chance to chat with the radio voice of the Chicago Bulls, Chuck Swirsky. And Matt, on behalf of NBA TV Canada, Raptors TV, was asking a very fun, kind of lighthearted thing for a little feature, saying, Coach, do you have a memory of a costume maybe that you wore as a kid that really stands out or something you remember? And Kevin O'Neill looks over at Jim LeBombard, the Raptors PR guy at the time, and with a few colorful choice words added in, basically said, is there no end to the ridiculousness that I have to put up with? And he was dead serious, pissed off that he was even being asked that question. That was on opening night. And it makes me think, Halloween, got any Christmas or Thanksgiving memories, whether it be on or off the court, directed to your job, to the NBA, that stand out, Chuck? I know I'm totally putting you on the spot here, but any holiday NBA memories that really stand out for you?
Wow. Holiday NBA memories. Well, yeah, I remember when Vinsanity took off. And you guys will remember this. And NBC showcased the Raptors at the Garden in New York. And it was Christmas night, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and while we're speaking, I'm sure you can probably Google it. I believe it was a 6 p.m. start time in New York. And the Raptors were an up-and-coming team, and they did not play well against the Knicks. But that was really the first exposure. And they had been on national TV, I believe, prior to that. I know the first time Vince was on NBC was a Sunday game in Toronto against Phoenix, where he had 51. But as far as Christmas Day games, I vividly recall that with the Raptors in New York. And, I mean, before the NBA shut down on Thanksgiving, I remember the Raptors played Indiana on the road and, sprinkled here and there with the Bulls and the Raptors, because I've been doing this now 26 years. And there, I'm sure, are other events. But, that game that you just recalled, that was Chris Bosh's first game. And the reason I remember that is I lost my voice. I should not have done the game. and that was on me. I should have given the baton to Paul or yourself, Eric, and I let my ego get in the way, and I will never allow that to happen again. I learned a very valuable lesson that, you know what, when the pipes go out, the pipes go out, and you just say, hey, you know what, you got to think big picture and not of yourself, which I did, and I apologize. And so the Kevin O'Neill era was an interesting one because, you know, we went from Lenny Wilkins, who was really a hands-off guy, especially by that time in his coaching career, and the ball club really needed discipline. And Kevin O'Neill had that reputation as the Pistons assistant, but also in college basketball. And some of the things Kevin did were really good. I mean, he was into when the plane leaves at 2, if we're scheduled to leave at 2, we're leaving at 2. And I'm into that. I buy that. I like structure. I think discipline is really important to lay the foundation. But, you know, the Kevin O'Neill short one-year run came to a screeching halt when Jalen Rose went down in Phoenix and we started losing players. Alvin Williams went down, Vince went down, and what looked like a playoff team, to what degree I'm not sure, but, you know, things then fell apart and it spiraled out of control.
That was the radio play-by-play voice of the Chicago Bulls, Chuck Swirsky. That interview, if you want to hear it in its entirety, was from the latest edition of Smith & Jones. Make sure you check out Smith & Jones wherever you get your podcast, Google, Apple, Spotify, or otherwise. Download, subscribe, rate, and review. When we come back, second half action with the Raptors leading the Bulls 62-48 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Toronto sports fans. Heading to a game this season? The Bentwood at the Second City is the perfect spot for a pregame drink and bite. Why not join us for a burger and a pint, or tacos and a pint, or spaghetti and meatballs and a pint? You get it. Located at 1 York, steps away from the big game. With on-site parking, over a dozen screens, and a fast, fun menu, we're the perfect destination before or after the game. Visit BentwoodToronto.com.
Think two-man-in-a-truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think two-man-in-a-truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, two-men-in-a-truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
Do more in a reliable Subaru, they said. Enjoy more time together to go more places with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, they said. More award-winning safety for more peace of mind, but to listen to one song over and over again with fantastic acoustics. I love you, family, but the singing, nobody warned me about the singing.
Hurry to your local Subaru dealer and get more out of every kilometer this fall, including more karaoke.
Everyone loves a big save. The Sport Check Black Friday event is on now with incredible savings of up to 70% off all your favorite brands. Save big on sporting equipment, jackets, footwear, and more. Say it with sport, in-store or online at sportcheck.ca. Selection and availability may vary by location.
Sleeves up! It's now easier than ever to book your flu shot at one of our 1,100 pharmacies. Book your flu shot at shoppersdrugmart.ca/flu or with the PC Health app. Subject to vaccine availability, limitations apply.
This winter, you may ask, oh, what fun is it to ride the 2024 Honda CR-V Hybrid? Well, dashing through the snow in a 204 horsepower sleigh, jingling all the way with Apple CarPlay and heated leather seats, you'll discover that the CR-V Hybrid isn't just efficient, it's made for fun adventures. And to make spirits even brighter, you don't have to wait to take one home. The 2024 CR-V EXL Hybrid is in stock today. Lease from just $149 weekly at 7.69% for 60 months, $2,650 down, OAC taxes extra. See HondaOntario.com.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting set to start the second half. The Raptors leading the Bulls 62-48. And hard to ask for a better start to this ballgame than what we saw from Toronto. Shooting 58.5%, balanced attack, 22 rebounds, out-rebounding the Bulls 22-17, 18 assists on 24 field goals. A lot working for Toronto thus far tonight.
Well, and at times you look at it, I don't mean to sound disparaging, but it's only a 14-point lead.
Yeah.
And you see big leads disappear quickly in this league. Toronto really has outplayed the Bulls, and Chicago is kind of hanging in right now, but give the Raptors credit for an excellent half. They need another one.
Toronto starts with the ball. They bring it across center. Schroeder handing it off to Siakam, back to Dennis Schroeder. Now back to Siakam, driving on the near side, tripped up from behind by Levine. That's going to be the second foul in the game on Levine, and a hard fall for Pascal. And Jonesy, how about the Raptors putting up 62 points, leading by 14, and Pascal Siakam has 2 points and only attempted 3 shots. That said, a team high, game high 7 assists.
He's playing very unselfish team basketball.
Yep. Pirtle, Anunoby in the far corner now to Barnes, up top to Schroeder. Got to go. Shot clock at 3. Got to the free throw line. High arcing shot over White is good for Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder has really become comfortable in this whole system in Toronto. Really has.
Bulls, their first touch, first offensive set of this third quarter. DeRozan, quiet tonight so far, driving through the paint, fading towards his bench, and he gets the floater to go. Just his third field goal of the game. DeRozan's got 7 points. Siakam out on the wing far side to a cutting Pirtle, stops on a dime in the paint, kicks out to Schroeder, far corner. It rattled 2 rims and popped out on a great look at a 3. Raptors leading by 14. Levine weaving through traffic for Chicago. Looked like he was going to hand it off to Vooch. Then gets to the 10. Jackknife pass out to DeRozan. Misses the 3-ball. Long rebound comes out to Caruso. A standing rebound. Second chance opportunity for the Bulls. White at the free throw line. Goes over to Vooch. Down to Caruso at the right block. Spinning. Firing over Barnes. He got it to go.
Well, Scotty did a good job contesting the first 2. All he has to do is extend the hand there on Caruso as he's falling away. Makes it a tougher shot.
12-point lead now for the Raptors. This is as close as the Bulls have gotten a couple of times going back to the second quarter. Siakam to Barnes in front of the Raptor bench, back to Pascal. Shot clock's at 7. Pascal, the OG, muscling his way down on that left block. Kicks out to Schroeder. Wow, jumping out on the perimeter for a block is DeRozan, who kept it inbounds, goes down the floor and coast to coast on a reverse lay-in. How about DeMar DeRozan? What a play.
Well, the lead down to 10. And as I said, the Raptors had a great half. Justice said they probably should have been up more than 14 at half, and now it's down to 10. Chicago's really done a nice job of hanging in. Raptors got to muscle uphill.
9:57 to go in the third quarter. The Bulls up to 48%. And again, as Jonesy just noted, they're starting to put something together. At least they're trying to. 64-54, Toronto on top on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590, the Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
As a parent in Ontario, I know that every student deserves to learn in a school that's safe and modern. And that starts with real government investment to address the teacher shortage, to ensure that my child and every child has a qualified teacher in the classroom. This and more student supports in schools means safer schools for everybody. Tell the Ford government that it's past time to invest in students. Visit knowmore.ca. That's knowmore.ca. A message from the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association.
McDonald's has the gift that keeps giving. To Peter, your dog sitter, and Claire, who shovels your stairs. And to you, when you spend $25 on McDonald's gift cards in restaurants, get a coupon for a free Big Mac or McChicken.
See details at participating McDonald's restaurants.
Black Friday continues at Real Canadian Superstore with deals on electronics, home, and holiday staples like lean ground beef at $3.68 a pound and 10 pounds of Farmers Market carrots or onions at $3.99. Until November 29th. See Fly for details.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Third quarter, Raptors leading 64-54. The lead that was once 20 going back to the second quarter has been cut in half. Raptors still up double figures, but they got to be careful here to not allow this door to stay open too long.
You can feel the kind of tenor of the game shifting very, very slowly. Toronto's got to wrestle the tide back from Chicago.
Toronto inbounding on the baseline. They bring it up across center court. Scotty Barnes has it. Handing it off now to Schroeder. Schroeder straight away covered by White. Over to Pirtle. Lobbing it down low to a cutting Barnes who lays it up and in. Another great find from Pirtle.
I would say the Raptors probably run that play out of a timeout 40 to 50% of the time, getting either Barnes or Siakam on that cut.
White out to DeRozan. DeMar inside the arc now at the free throw line. The help came. OG poked it away. DeMar got it back. Shot clock at 6. DeRozan, deep pull-up jumper. Rolled off the rim, popped out. Raptors with the rebound. Barnes ahead to Schroeder. In the corner to OG in front of his own bench. Launches a three and knocks it down from the east side.
Great job by OG. Terrific job contesting the DeRozan shot. They get the miss, and he runs out in transition.
Kobe White out on the perimeter for the Bulls, trying to go at Pearl, take advantage of the mismatch, and he missed the layup. He got by Yak, but it rolled off the rim. Raptors come away with the rebound. Barnes down Main Street. Drop pass to OG. Look out. Anunoby with the throwdown, and we got a Bulls timeout. How about the Raptor run, Jonesy, after their break?
7-0 run for Toronto, and it started with a great after timeout play. They muscled up defensively, and they did a nice job of putting this thing back in their favor. As I said, remember, they got to be careful here. You could feel the tide turning. Toronto wrestles it back right here.
71-54. Raptors leading by 17 with 8:50 to go in the third. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
College basketball is coming to Toronto with a doubleheader on December 9th at the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Come watch Toronto's own and reigning National Player of the Year, Zach Edey, lead Purdue in a showdown against Alabama, followed by an exciting matchup between TCU and Clemson. Don't miss your chance to be part of Zach Edey's much-anticipated return to the Six. Secure your seats now. Tickets for the Hall of Fame Series Toronto are available at HOFseries.com. That's HOFseries.com.
All right, everyone, step up and down. Left foot, right foot, you're climbing up a trail. Now back in your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and getting active in the real world. Work those abs, driving right through the mud and left and right. Keep that core engaged and bend at the knees as you load more to your Subaru. Windows down, take in that outdoor air and park.
Get more value out of every kilometer at your local Subaru dealer, starting with award-winning safety.
Monte Carlo Inn, your home sweet home.
Monte Carlo Inns would like to thank the many of you for visiting our hotels over the last several months. Monte Carlo Inns is very proud of our Made in Canada brand and are delighted to continue to be your home away from home for quality accommodations and functional meeting facilities in Southern Ontario. To save on your next stay with us or to book your next event space, book directly at MonteCarloInns.com.
Monte Carlo Inn.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Third quarter, 8:50 to play. The Raptors on a 7-0 run have opened up a 17-point lead at 71-54. And Jonesy, the Raptors a hair under 60% for the game, shooting 59.6%. You talked about it in the pregame, how this team has been putting up some big numbers in 2 of their last 3 games. No denying their offense was sputtering at best towards the beginning of the season, but it has started to kind of come alive a little bit more.
New system, right? And now the guys were 15 games in, the guys are becoming more comfortable with the system. Look at the numbers they're starting to put up. The familiarity, the ball movement, it's all there.
Levine thought about driving, cut off by Pirtle, kicks it cross court over to DeRozan. DeMar gets into lane, spins, fires, and they're going to call a foul. Man, oh man, that's again a reputation call. DeRozan just has a knack for seeming to bait players and or officials into whistles. A la James Harden, extending those arms out, leading with those arms extended and initiating contact. At the stripe. First one goes down for DeRozan. And now Darko's trying to get a explanation from the officials on that last whistle. Second one is good. Raptors leading 71-56. Schroeder out on the wing far side, drove in toward the paint, kick back out to Barnes. Scotty hold the ball, shot clock down to 4. Pirtle now hands off to Schroeder. Schroeder driving toward the baseline, going to the 10. Man, he had a chance, and unfortunately he wasn't able to finish with the layup. He got by, and you said it earlier, the change of speed, he just had a burst along the baseline, blew by Vooch, but missed the layup.
His gait is so smooth, you can't tell how fast he's going, especially when he's coming at you.
Caruso couldn't get by Barnes, instead gives it up to Vooch out on the wing far side. Now goes back up top to Levine. Zach Levine holding the ball above his head and then launches a pass over the head of DeRozan, way too high for DeMar. And it goes out of bounds. Chicago with their 7th turnover. Raptors leading by 15. .740 left in this third. Schroeder to Pirtle. Show and go. Yak into the paint. Dropped off the pass to Barnes, and it's going to go off Chicago. I think it was Caruso that got a hand in there to deflect that thing away.
Caruso came up limping too and tried to take the charge on the drive.
He's going to come out right now, Caruso, as Torrey Craig checks in.
He's in for number 6, Alex Caruso.
Barnes on the baseline. Into the corner to Schroeder. In front of his own bench, goes to Yak, back to Dennis. Dennis on the perimeter now straight away. Goes cross court over on the far side to Anunoby, and he lost the handle as he put it to the floor.
That possession was falling apart when Schroeder mishandled the ball.
DeRozan saw Pirtle, tried to go at him, goes into the lane, kicks back out to Vooch. Now on the perimeter to Craig, hand off to Levine. Into the paint, cut off at the free throw line. Zach Levine down low to Vooch. He bobbles the ball, Raptors pick it up and get the turnover. Pascal to Scotty, to a cutting Pirtle, scoop it up and in, plus the foul, and a three-point opportunity coming, Jonesy, for the Jakob Pirtle.
Started at the other end with the active hands on defense. The post pass knocked away, live ball turnover, and Scotty Barnes just does such a good job of seeing the floor. Like, everybody talks about his ball handling ability and his passing ability, but it's because of his vision. He caught that ball and saw Pirtle coming and said, just let me wait, and I'm going to give it to the big guy when all he has to do is catch it and put it in.
Yak short-armed that free throw. Missed it pretty badly as it hit the front of the rim. But the Raptors still leading by 17 at 73-56. DeRozan out to Vucevic. Over on the far side, it's to Levine. Zach Levine turning into the paint, ran into Pirtle, steps back and drops the jumper. Levine's got 20. 6:42 to go here in the third quarter. Pascal weaving through traffic, fouled. He was hit on the side of the head, and he's going to go to the free throw line as the foul comes in on Torrey Craig.
The foul is called on Chicago's number 13, Torrey Craig. That's his first,
So Pascal to the line for the first time tonight. 1 of 3, Siakam, for 2 points and a team high, game high 7 assists. And I'm not saying that in a critical way.
No. He's making the right basketball play. Drawing a double team, and it's the old line that we've heard from Sam Mitchell, Jay Triano, all the way up. Dwayne Casey, Nick Nurse. When you have attracted two guys to you, you've done your job. Now you pass the ball because you're going to help your team. Somebody's going to get a good look.
Siakam makes good on both free throws, so the Raptors again are up 17. Across center, Zach LaVine around a screen, driving to the tin, lays it in.
Tough hoop. Zach LaVine is
And he made it look easy.
Zach LaVine is so skilled.
75-60. Hurdle to Trent, who's into the ball game. Out on the far wing now, Gary whips it into the far corner. Good look at a three for Schroeder. That one won't go down. Flying in for the rebound is Pirtle, and then he's fouled by Vucevic, and Yak's going to go to the stripe.
The smarts of Pirtle on that offensive rebound. He knew the ball was coming off on the far side. He pinned Vucevic under the basket or closer to the side where the shot was, and then waited till the ball was in the air going towards the Raptor bench and went and got it. That rebound was all positioning, timing, and had very little to do with jumping ability or athleticism.
Pirtle knocks down the first free throw, came into the game shooting 50% at the stripe on the season. He's now 1 of 2 in the game. See if he can knock this one down. It's up, and nope, it pops out. So Yak, much like the Raptors as a team, continuing to have issues at the stripe this season. Toronto tonight 11 of 14. The Bulls are 8 of 12 at the line. Chicago trailing by 16 as LaVine gets into the paint, pulls up for the jumper, and goes off glass and in, and gets it to go from about 15 feet.
That was a UCLA thing back in the day. John Wooden teaching the bank shot from that side. Zach LaVine, a UCLA guy. I don't think it's a coincidence.
Siakam to Pirtle, drive, scoop, and finish. Again, Yak showing off the footwork and finish.
Well, they let him get to his strong hand, and Yak is so tough doing that.
Pascal with his 8th assist. LaVine with a contested triple. That one missed badly. Great job by Toronto to get out on that.
Schroeder working really hard at the defensive end.
OG into the paint. Drew bodies, handed off to Pirtle. Missed the shot. OG picked it back up. Looked like he was fouled. No call. Gets the ball back again, though. Schroeder, straightaway 3-ball is good. Finally, that one feels good. From the north side, he gets it to go. He's just 1 of 7 from distance tonight, but that one puts Toronto up by 19.
Great job by Anunoby not forcing the ball on the offensive rebound.
81-62 with 5:05 to go in the third quarter. Schroeder's now got 15 points and 4 assists in the ball game. And the Raptors are having themselves a night thus far. Shooting still just shy of 60% overall. And Jonesy, one thing we've seen tonight as well, and I'm sure we're going to start seeing a few more pieces coming in at some point in the next couple of minutes, probably rolling into the fourth. Without the Raptors having to play, I think, until, well, not I think, I know, until Sunday night, Darko Rajakovic is really leaning on the starters tonight. And I don't mean that in a bad way. He's stuck with what's working, and they're responding.
Well,
I mean, Trent with 12 minutes is the top man off the bench.
Those are your best players. You know, you lean on him. You lean on him. And they probably had yesterday off after the back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
You don't play again until Sunday night. It's Friday. You got some time. Let him play. Let him run.
Bulls inbound on the baseline at the York Street end of the arena as White brings it up across center, trying to shake free from Schroeder out toward that far sideline. He's having some issues as Schroeder's digging in. Now White gets in the lane, goes left, stops on a dime, hands off to a cutting Craig, who's denied at the 10. The Austrian hammer with the big stuff. Raptors with numbers, 5-on-4. Schroeder, cross court to Anunoby, puts it on the floor, drives into the paint, runs into Craig, who got back into the play, and he missed the shot. Was that not a foul?
It was a foul. No different than Tyrese Halliburton the other night. No different. More contact.
Craig in the lane, turns, fires, gets the bucket. Nice pass from Vucevic as he whipped that thing into Craig down low. Raptors had a chance to go up 21. It would have been their largest lead of the game. Instead, They don't get 2, they give up 2, and the lead is down to 17. 81-64 with 4:10 to go in the third quarter. Schroeder across center. Dennis stops the dribble, goes over to Pirtle. Ball tapped away by Vooch. And it comes towards center court on the other side of center. Yak lets it go, so he'll have to inbound with 12 on the shot clock on the Bulls side of the floor. Now Pirtle's going to check out of the game, so Achua will do the honors. He tosses in to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder to Pascal. Triple straight away, no good. What a rebound, flying high for that one in traffic. Achua kicks it out, busted. Far side, Gary Trent, another triple, and the Raptors lead by 20.
Really, really nice job by Precious. Raptors not just hoisting it on the offensive rebounds, they're looking to kick it out because the defense is disorganized.
Zach LaVine thought about a sidestep 3 far side. Now he gets to the baseline, double team, kicks out to Vooch. Vucevic for 3, and that one's good. The Bulls answer back to cut the Raptor lead to 17. 3:20 to play in the third quarter. Pascal up top to Schroeder, over on the far wing. It's now Trent above the arc. Gary into the corner to OG. On the floor, into the paint, back out to Trent. Skipping into the lane, step back at the far elbow, missed it, and Chicago with the rebound. 3 minutes to go now. White into the lane, gets to the far elbow, just below it, buries the jump shot, and the Raptor lead is cut to 15 on a mini Chicago 5-0 run.
Well, Chicago's not going to lay down. If you're Toronto, you just have to be aware. Keep them out of your paint. Chicago's done a much better job in this half, scoring on the inside.
Schroeder whips a pass over to Siakam. Cross court, left to right over to Trent. He's in front of his coach on the Raptors side. Step back in front of his own bench. Trent missed that one. Rebound to White. Here come the Bulls.
I'd like to see the ball go back inside if I'm Toronto.
White, near side, stops, pops, and can't drop. Rebound to the Raptors. Pascal, straight away, sees the seam, goes at White, weaves through, bucket and a foul, and a three-point opportunity coming for Pascal Siakam.
Really nice job by Pascal, seeing the opening and going to his left hand. Kobe White, you know, whoever they get matched up on him, Ayo, Dosunmu, Caruso, they can't handle Pascal down there. And I like the fact that the Raptors are going to that matchup.
Julian Phillips checking into the ballgame now for the first time. Obviously, Billy Donovan looking for something, trying to ignite his team in some way. Phillips, he's long and wiry, athletic. We'll see if he can make a difference for the Bulls as Pascal steps to the stripe and knocks down the free throw. Raptors leading 87-69. Okay.
You know, you can't have allowed DeMar DeRozan to get up ahead of steam on his side of center and be coming at you, because he's going to either A, beat you, B, get a foul, or C, both of the above. So when he gets the ball, it's important to be close enough to slow him down so he doesn't have a full head of steam.
Jonesy, word coming in from Raptors Media Relations Toronto, recording 25+ assists in 12 consecutive games is a franchise record. Entering the season, the previous high was a 10-game streak back in 2020.
What does that say about the new system and how familiar they're becoming with it?
Raptors ranked 4th in the NBA in assists per game at 28.6. That should rise tonight if things continue on this path. Down low, Scotty Barnes lays it up and in. He presented himself right into the tin, and Precious with another nifty pass.
I got to give Darko credit. I got to give all the players credit to buying in and working through the chinks in the system.
Raptors pick up the loose ball. Chicago turns it over. Down the floor comes Toronto. Siakam to Barnes. Out to Precious on the perimeter to Trent. Missed the three. Tipped by Barnes. He was bumped from behind, and they don't call the foul. Scotty Bug-Eye couldn't believe there wasn't a whistle. DeRozan to Williams, cutting to the tin, lays it in.
Sure looked like Scotty was pushed on that tip attempt.
Yep. Raptors leading 89-73 with 1:12 to go here in the third quarter. Flynn crossed over Dosumu, gets into lane, ran into bodies. Again, no whistle.
Lots of contact.
Darko wanted a call, should have got it. Here comes Chicago. Dosumu to Phillips. Gives it out to Williams on the near side, driving into the paint. Back over to Dosumu. To Phillips, into the paint, throws it up, and gets the bucket to go.
There's Chicago again, cutting it to 14, just kind of hanging around.
45 seconds to go in the third. Malachi Flynn, crossover, kicks it back out on the perimeter to Pascal. Siakam's got it above the arc, far wing. He's going to go at the youngster Phillips. Into the lane, throwing it up and getting it to go. It rolled off the rim, glass and in. What a strong take from Pascal. 91-75. Raptors have a foul to give if they want to use it, Jonesy. 8-second differential, shot clock, game clock. Barnes in front of DeRozan. DeMar pushed out towards center to Williams. Wide open in the corner. Phillips misses the three. It's pulled down, though, by Craig, and a foul comes in on Malachi Flynn.
I'd like to see the replay. I didn't even see.
Was there a bump in the back? Because the block itself looked clean.
Yeah, I didn't even see him near the ball.
Raptors are actually looking for an explanation on the shot as well, because they thought that it hit the top of the backboard before it came back down, and allowing the Bulls to still have a chance for an offensive rebound.
The backboard, all faces of the backboard except for the back face are in play. The only face of the backboard that isn't is the total back and the underside. So it can bounce along the top as long as it doesn't go over or hit anything.
Well, and that's, I think, maybe too what the Raptors were asking. Did it hit the shot clock or any of the wires that are attached? Back in the day, you'd have balls hitting the top of the backboard a lot more frequently, right, Jonesy? Because you didn't have all of the cameras and the additions. 4 seconds to go. Siakam trying to go at Williams. Step back, straight away. Good if it goes, and it does! Pascal beats the buzzer. And the Raptors lead by 16 going to the fourth.
And Darko Rajakovic saying, my guy's on his wallet too, the same way DeMar was. And that was much more of an active contest by Patrick Williams. Nonetheless, Toronto take the two and take a 16-point lead to the fourth quarter.
We will come back with the final frame with Toronto up 16 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I run at sonic speeds, but I'm not as quick as the fastest computer. And that's exactly what Sam needed. She runs an IT firm and needed an upgrade. Within 24 hours, she was approved for a business loan. After, I stuck around to play some online games. My legs might be fast, but my thumbs, even faster.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Move up to Heathwood. Hi, I'm Hugh Heron. Experience true luxury at Williamsburg Green in Kitchener. Heathwood's all-brick single-family homes come with a long list of features you've always dreamed of. Gourmet kitchens, freestanding tubs, and even fully finished lower levels. Dare to compare and you'll see why it's time to move up to Heathwood. Learn more at heathwood.com.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590. The Fan.
Back at Scotiabank Arena. Paul Jones, Eric Smith with you. We're into the final frame. 12 minutes to play. And the Raptors lead the Bulls 93-77.
Well, got to hold them off. They led going to the fourth quarter in Chicago. and let that one get away.
And the Bulls now up to 50% from the floor. Their offense definitely got going there in the third. Good thing for the Raptors, though, they kind of kept pace themselves. Chicago starts with the ball. DeRozan will bring it up across center.
See, there's a moving screen by Patrick Williams as he kind of helps DeMar coming front court.
Williams now into the lane, met by Precious Achiuwa in the paint, who just stood his ground and got the stuff.
Outstanding defense by Precious, moving his feet and then contesting the shot. That is outstanding defense by Precious.
Ball knocked away by Williams, who was backpedaling. It's going to stay with the Raptors. Toronto will inbound on the baseline. Malachi Flynn trying to get it in. Finds Grady Dick in the far corner. Achiuwa back to Flynn, who came back to get the ball out on the perimeter. Now driving toward the far elbow, cut off. Goes cross court left to right over to Barnes. Going to step into a three ball. Scotty triple is good. He saw that Craig was giving him space, Jonesy, and he knocked it down. Dead eye.
That's something that Scotty would never have done last year. It shows the work that he's put in this summer and the confidence and conviction with which he's shooting the shot.
DeRozan near elbow jump shot. Mr. Mid-range knocks it in. After a slow start, DeRozan has gotten going. He's got 15. Raptors leading 96-79. Malachi brings it across center for the Raptors. Out toward that far sideline, Flynn calls out the play, finds Grady Dick off the screen at the free throw line, fouled, and Dick is going to the line.
Great call by Darko on the play call. Saw exactly what he wanted, and he got Brady on a double stagger. I guess it's redundant, right? A stagger. Two guys going to screen for him, and Grady coming toward the ball. Maybe a youngster will get a couple free throws down to help his confidence. He hasn't been shooting it well. 4 of 22 over the past 4 games, including 3 of 15 from distance. So shooters see the ball go in the bucket, does wonders for them.
May gets it to go, Jonesy, on both of them. DeRozan pestered in the backcourt, hounded by Scotty Barnes. Still there, Scotty, as DeMar gets it across center. Now Grady Dick comes over to help. Great job by Grady with that help deep. DeRozan passed out of that double team, though, and then we got a foul down low and a technical.
That's being overly sensitive. Boucher turned away and waved his arms. Like that's. I'm sorry, not a strong crew tonight.
I'll tell you what makes a difference to me, Jonesy, as DeRozan misses the free throw. You might even disagree with this, but generally speaking, if a player makes a gesture while still looking at the official,
he turned away.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd be okay with saying, yeah, I guess. You still shouldn't legislate emotion out. He turned away. So after DeRozan misses the technical free throw, Phillips goes to the line for his 2 free throws on the foul from Boucher. He promptly misses the first. The crowd goes a little bit wilder than usual for just your standard run-of-the-mill missed free throw because they just got fed. I don't think they get 2 slices or 3. I don't think they get 1 for every miss. They just have to have 1 miss in the 4th quarter, and they get fed by pizza. Precious with an offensive rebound. Second chance time off the Barnes miss. Flynn to Boucher. Back out to Malachi on the wing near side. Good look at a 3. Missed that one down low. Scotty taps it, keeps it alive. Boucher at center court is able to keep it in this half court and save it for Toronto. Flynn over to Precious, driving into the 10. Little shovel pass to Boucher is picked off by the Bulls, and here comes Chicago. Turnover for Toronto. Dosunmu running floater is good.
Tough shot by Dosunmu.
That was another chance for the Raptors to go up 21. Would have been their largest lead. Instead, it's cut to 17. It's happened a couple of times in this game. Barnes crosses over, down Main Street. DeRozan met him at the rim and picked up a foul. Otherwise, we were looking for a screensaver. And Barnes gets up and says, man, he hit me in the face. Foul on DeRozan, his second, as Barnes goes to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Scotty's got 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and a steal. First free throw, no good. After the ball game, the Raptors will stay in town. Not sure if they'll practice tomorrow or not, but they'll get set to fly out mid-afternoon to Cleveland as they will play the Cavaliers on Sunday evening. And you can tune into that game right here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Raptors Radio Network, as we'll be on the air with the pregame show at 7 o'clock, tip at 7:30. Second free throw good for Barnes. Raptors leading 99-81. DeRozan to the 10, tried to scoop it up, knocked out and flushed out by Precious Achiuwa.
Well, you get into the body of a shot blocker, but Precious was right there with DeMar, kind of absorbed the contact and able to make the block.
14 on the shot clock for the Bulls as they get it into DeMar in the lane. And again, in that mid-range, he's lethal, and he buries the jumper.
I just thought the pass in was too easy. It was a straight line chest pass. You know, when you're guarding the ball out of bounds, your goal is to get a deflection.
Scotty. Over to Precious on the block, right block, spins into the lane, hacked, and going to the line. Man, he was hit hard there, Precious Achiuwa.
Precious has had great activity, not just tonight, in the last few games that he's come back. Last 2 games averaging 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and shooting 50% or better in the last 5 games from the field. So Precious, a integral part of the bench.
And he knocks down the first free throw. I think we're starting to get a sign, Jonesy, of more and more Darko Rajakovic settling into a specific rotation.
Yep.
And a set group of players, and unfortunately for a guy in Jalen McDaniels, he's kind of on the outside looking in right now, and he had every opportunity. He was one of the top 9-10 in camp, coming out of camp, and he's even as the season started, he's kind of slid a little bit.
And my advice to the youngster would be stay ready, because you never know in this league when your opportunity comes.
I still wonder if we might see more of Otto Porter when we talk about some of the veteran pieces. There's Precious again making a play, jumping out into the near corner and flying out for his 3rd block of the game.
He's done a really good job of adapting to his role in this new system.
Chicago inbounding from the baseline. Levine was looking to give it back to Javon Carter, and guess who again with the deflection in the lane? Precious Achiuwa. Down the floor he comes, out to Malachi, wing far side, 3-ball, no good, and the Raptors had nobody underneath.
It's a good look, though. Precious did a nice job of the penetrating dribble.
101-83, 18-point lead. Levine staring down Grady Dick. Pulls up and shoots it over Grady and gets the triple to go.
Very skilled player, Zach Levine.
101-86, Levine's got 24 in the ballgame. Check that, 27. Score slow in the take tonight. Precious back, scoop it up and in. Tell you what, he's filling up the stat sheet, Jonesy. 8 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks in 16 minutes. Levine back for the Bulls. Bullies his way to the 10 and then snuffed out on a rear contest by Scotty Barnes.
Great activity again, and give the Raptors credit. Multiple effort, everybody flooding to the ball. Malachi Flynn doing a nice job of engaging the ball handler, and Scotty, the second man off the floor, getting the block.
Grady Dick and Scotty Barnes having a few words discussing one of the recent plays as they come off the floor together and get a quick breather with 8:10 to go in the ball game. Levine has it, pull-up jumper, far side, rattles around and falls down for Zach Levine. He's got 29. Bulls over 50% from the floor. They trail by 15. Still time to go, man, 8 minutes.
Well, this game's far from over.
Precious.
It's actually just starting right now.
To Trent, to Schroeder, back to Precious. Oh, up top to Trent. And the Raptors turned it over. The ball goes the length of the floor out of bounds. It's going to be a 13th turnover for the Raptors. Chicago has scored 15 points off those turnovers, and they're going to look for more right here.
It's the right idea by Precious, playing inside out. Problem was Gary Trent was not on the same page standing as Precious was trying to lead him into a three.
Levine lobs the pass in to Vooch at the near elbow, over to the far elbow. It's Williams, back to Levine on the perimeter. Three ball is in. Raptors didn't get up on the shooter. Well, he was wide open, and Jonesy, it's down to 12.
They ran some flex action, and it was Toronto's communication that broke down when Levine came off the down screen. Classic flex action. He set a cross screen for White, and then the cleanup had a down screen for Levine, and the Raptors didn't communicate on that, and Levine, who's been hot, knocked it down.
103-91. Raptors up 12 with 7:39 to go in the ballgame. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590. The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
When you're looking to play, Bet Rivers will make your day.
Take a chance, you'll see.
You like slots, we've got lots. Blackjack, roulette, take your shot.
It's where you want to be. Bet Rivers Online Casino has hundreds of slots, live table games, and more.
Take a chance.
Must be 19 plus. Available in Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or someone close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge.
Hey, Toronto sports fans. Heading to a game this season? The Bentwood at the Second City is the perfect spot for a pregame drink and bite. Why not join us for a burger and a pint, or tacos and a pint, or spaghetti and meatballs and a pint? You get it. Located at 1 York, steps away from the big game. With on-site parking, over a dozen screens, and a fast, fun menu, we're the perfect destination before or after the game. Visit BentwoodToronto.com.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Fourth quarter action, 7:39 to play in the ball game, and the Raptors lead by 12. The closest Chicago has been, Jonesy, since the first quarter was 10.
Yeah.
It has not been into single digits since, I'm guesstimating here, mid first quarter. The Raptors led by 12 at the end of one. They have led by as many as 20, but it wasn't that long ago that Toronto had a chance to go up 21, and Chicago's trying to put together another run right here.
Well, very important. Still lots of time left. Raptors get back into their offensive flow. I'd like to see them pick up their defense. Chicago shot the ball really well.
Siakam cut off on the baseline near side, kicks out to Schroeder for three. Back rim popped out, no good. Bulls with the rebound. It could get down to 10, maybe even 9 right here. 7:14 to go. Levine directing traffic. He's got 32 points in the ballgame. Pushed out towards center. Vooch puts it on the floor, drives into the paint. To Williams, to White, far corner three. No good. Rebound to Pirtle.
The Raptors lucky, dodged a bullet. The double team was very high towards midcourt. Couldn't recover.
Schroeder, cross court, right to left, over to Pascal. Siakam driving, over the shoulder pass, out to Trent. Sidestep, three ball, far sideline. That one no good, up and over the backboard. Chicago ball.
I'll live with that from Gary. He was 4 of 8 before that from distance. 6 of 12 on the night. I'll live with that. 16 points off the bench.
.647 to go in the ball game. Raptors still leading by 12. Toronto's percentage is dipping quite a bit right now, shooting still 53.5, but it was up at 58-59 for most of this ball game. Chicago now a hair under 51. Vooch, a little show and go down Main Street, kicked it out, and turned it over. It was too far to the right of White, and then as it hit White's fingertips, Williams couldn't keep it in bounds, and Chicago turns it over. I thought Vooch had a pretty good look that he should have kept himself.
And that's where the new wave basketball has changed the game. You're driving in as a big guy like that, you expect him to be taking it strong, maybe even a dunk, but everybody wants the three now, and he's not capable of making that pass and play consistently.
Trent to Pirtle to Schroeder, shot clock at 8. Dennis out on the wing far side, now turns around a Pirtle screen, kicks out to Pascal, 3-ball is up, no good. Pirtle with the rebound, second chance opportunity for Toronto. OG to Yak, back to Anunoby, far corner 3, that one no good, and a rebound to Carter.
The last 3 possessions, Raptors, everything has been on the perimeter, everything.
White, deep one, far wing, clean, and there we go, folks. It's at single digits now with still half a quarter to go, just under 5:50 to play.
This ball's got to touch the paint on this trip.
The Raptors leading by 9. Schroeder. Over to Trent out on the far side. To Pascal at the far elbow, spinning in the lane, off glass, missed it. Bulls with the rebound. Oh, Patrick Williams crossed up Schroeder and went right around him to the tin with a left-hand cram. And Chicago, they are running right now. The Bulls are running all the way to a 7-point deficit now. It was 19 not that long ago, and we'll get you the exact run in a moment, Jonesy. But we got ourselves a brand new ball game. Chicago on an 8-0 run, but it's more than just that if we extend back even further. But we'll call it, at least right now, 8-0. And this thing is getting a little precarious for T.O. We'll take the break with 5:24 to go on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
You've heard that sound before. A basketball going off the backboard and in. A bank shot. Well, that's actually the sound of a fan winning a Raptors jersey. That's the sound of a fan getting a signed Raptors basketball. And that's a fan scoring tickets to the NBA Finals. With the Tangerine Bank Shot contest, every bank shot the Raptors score this season wins a fan a prize. Enter for a chance to win at tangerine.ca/bankshot. Tangerine, that's forward banking.
College basketball is coming to Toronto with a doubleheader on December 9th at the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Come watch Toronto's own and reigning National Player of the Year, Zach Edey, lead Purdue in a showdown against Alabama, followed by an exciting matchup between TCU and Clemson. Don't miss your chance to be part of Zach Edey's much-anticipated return to the Six. Secure your seats now. Tickets for the Hall of Fame Series Toronto are available at HOFseries.com. That's HOFseries.com.
This is the sound of me at my local Metro, picking up Platinum Grill Canadian Angus top sirloin roasts and steaks. Just $5.99 per pound, but only until November 29th. Get everything for this holiday season at your local Metro or online at metro.ca.
Enjoy the classic taste of the holidays at Tim's with the new non-alcoholic Bailey's flavored holiday menu. Whether you're hanging holiday lights or driving up to your folks, you can enjoy your Tim's and Bailey's anytime, anywhere at participating restaurants in Canada.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 5:24 to go in the ball game, and we said it with about 8 minutes to go. This game is far from over, and in fact, Jonesy said, no, this game is just starting, and it certainly looks that way. 5:24 to play. The Raptor lead has been cut to 7. Chicago, I'll give you two different runs, Jonesy. They're in the midst of a 10-0 run, but if we extend further back, they are in the midst of a 17-5 run.
Well, they are 28 of 52 since the end of the first quarter. I'll do some quick math.
It's over 50%. I got that.
Yeah, it's not good if you're the Raptor defense.
Schroeder, hounded by Carter. He just got hit right in front of the official. I heard it from here, and I got a headset on. Schroeder now curling into the lane. Floats it up over Vooch, missed it, cleaned up by Barnes. He was right under the tin, could have got the 2. Kicks out to Siakam. In the far corner to Schroeder, 3. Missed it, up and over the backboard, but the ball is still live, and the rebound to Vooch. Scotty had an easy 2 right under the rim.
Eric, welcome to the new game. Welcome to the new game. Your tallest guy gets an offensive rebound a foot from the rim and kicks it out for a 3.
Levine jumper over 2 defenders, missed, cleaned up by Williams. Out to Carter, sidestep, 3-ball, it's open. We got a wedgie.
I mean, that's the new game these days. I don't like it. Like, Scotty's there. He's the tallest guy with the rebound right there. Turn and put the 2 back in, especially to stop a run.
Yep. I can't say anything more than yep. I totally agree.
Well, the mathematicians have gotten into the game and said, kick that out for a 3. An open 3.
Pirtle wins the jump, so the Raptors get the ball. They need something right here. Leading by 7 with 4:30 to go. Raptors have been in a funk offensively. They've only scored 5 points in over 5 minutes. Barnes, far corner, triple, clean for OG.
Well, I guess you throw enough stuff at the wall, some of it sticks. At least you got a guy who shoots 62% from the corners on 3s.
White up top to Vooch. Handoff on the perimeter to Williams. Over to Levine. Barnes there. Levine drives into the paint. Kicks out far corner to DeRozan on the baseline. Whips it back on the perimeter. They get it to White. White had the ball knocked away. Picked up by Levine. They've still got time. 2 in the shot clock. Drops it to Vooch. He bobbles it. Throws it up as the shot clock winds down. And it's a shot clock violation as it didn't hit the rim. And the fans appreciating the Raptor defense.
The active hands are a key for the Raptors. That last possession, Scotty comes on a closeout with his hands active as Kobe White tried to drive the closeout and Scotty knocked the ball away.
Schroeder, little beer league swat from Vooch, knocks that ball away into the scorer's table, so Schroeder will come over and throw in for the Raptors with 18 on the shot clock. 3:47 to go in the game, and the Raptors leading by 10.
You got to cut hard.
Barnes gets the inbound pass and then gives it back to Schroeder. Shot clock at 10, crossover on White. Fake the pass into the lane, scoop it up and in. How about that move to the tin by Schroeder?
Again, they're anticipating where he might go, and if you give that guy any kind of space, you're in trouble.
Vooch down near the right block, kicks out to DeRozan at the near elbow, turns, fires, contested, missed. Great job by OG. Anunoby with the rebound. He'll bring it up across center and now drops the ball to Schroeder. 3:10 to play. Raptors by 12. Schroeder in the lane again. Kicks back out to Pascal. Driving on the near side. Bumped. And to the line will go Pascal Siakam.
Well, Pascal, the benefit of the call there, he drove that one hard, really hard. And Chicago had no choice.
Going to the line for Toronto, number 43, Pascal Siakam.
Pascal knocks down the first free throw.
The numbers really don't do justice to the kind of impact Pascal's had on the game tonight.
Yep. $12 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds, give him 13 points as the second free throw goes in. Across center, Levine, and he's going to be called for it. He threw it that forearm and shoved Scotty Barnes, who went flying, and they call it. It's a little bit of a delayed whistle, and Scotty, with the big smile on his face and smacking his hands together, trying to hype up the crowd and his team. Raptors responding at the right moment, Jonesy. After Chicago cut this thing to 7, the Raptors have doubled up the lead again. It's back up to 14. 110-96. Siakam to OG. Anunoby up top to Schroeder. Over on the far side to Pirtle, back to Dennis. Dennis curls around a screen into lane, fires out near side to OG, and he traveled.
He should have shot it.
Yep.
Like, the whole defense was condensed inside the foul line. Schroeder, great actions, great hard cuts, and OG, a great catch and shoot guy, was wide open. Fire that thing, man. Ask questions later.
2:42 to go, driving. Levine scoops it up and in. On the left side with the right hand, awkward angle as he was going to the baseline, and he got the shooter's touch. 110-98, 2:30 to go. Friday night action at Scotiabank Arena. We appreciate you tuning in. OG to a cutting Pirtle. Lay it up and in. The big man has been so good tonight.
He's just so comfortable in his role as a screener, as a passer. I mean, his shooting percentage is phenomenal.
He's 7 of 8 tonight. Driving, Levine kicks a pass out in the corner to DeRozan in the near corner, a long 2 right in front of his own bench. Schroeder handing it off to Siakam. Pascal went right, came back left, scoops it up and in as he's fallen to the baseline, plus the foul, and a massive smile on his face as he lays on his backside, looking up to the heavens with the Raptors leading, Jonesy, 114-100.
Well, when they choose not to double team him and Pascal stays active with the ball, that's what you get. Did a great job going one way and then the other, and realized there was no double team and the lane was open. Away he went.
Pascal at the line. Missing the free throw. 114-100 with 147 to go. Levine, fake the pass to the left, turns around to the right to Vooch, over to Williams. Patrick Williams on the baseline far side, sideline far side. Lost the handle, kicked it back to Vooch 3 seconds ago, out to DeRozan near side. DeMar steps inside the arc, jumper up, contested by Pirtle, no good. Put back jam by Williams, no good. Bulls track it down though. White out to Levine, up fake, inside the arc, into the lane, to the tin, reverse layup is good. 1:13 to play though, Raptors leading by 12. Levine has 36 in the game. Schroeder brings it across center, Raptors milking the clock down. We tick under a minute to go in the ball game with Toronto leading by 12. Schroeder on the near side driving, kicks out to OG in front of his own bench. Triple up and in, put a fork in it. 115, 116, 117 for OG Anunoby. The triple has the Raptors leading by 15 with 51 seconds to go.
Well, that's the OG we like to see, catch and shoot in the corners. Like I said, last year he shot 62% from corner threes. 5 triples tonight for Anunoby. Williams just answered back with one for the Bulls. Patrick Williams toward the far sideline. 117-105. 12-point advantage for the Raptors. 38 seconds to go. And it looks like the Bulls are ready to just concede, essentially. They didn't foul immediately. Raptors work the ball around, milking the clock down. Barnes is going to hoist one in a second. Nope, he's going to give it up to Pascal. Far corner three is good for Siakam. 120-105. 22 seconds to go. Bulls push ahead. Williams, another three ball on the far sideline. Keep in mind, scores matter in the in-season tournament, but that said, the Raptors have already been eliminated at an 0-2 record coming into tonight. So it looks like they might. Nope, Darko says go, play on. Pascal misses a triple. Pirtle with the rebound, fouled as he goes to the floor. You never know, right? So you...
Well, I'm not saying it's unsportsmanlike. I just don't know if maybe perhaps Darko doesn't realize that they've already been eliminated. I would hope he knows that, but otherwise there's no reason to keep playing like this, and the Raptors traditionally don't do this.
No, and DeMar's
upset at something. Talking about that right now, isn't he?
And DeMar got thrown out.
Scotty Barnes right next to DeMar DeRozan with a smile on his face, mimicking the T that the official has called and giving the heave-ho, telling DeRozan to get out of here. Scotty Barnes is saying right now, you know what? This is still my joint now, not yours. And as DeRozan leaves the floor, he stops and gives a hug to Masai Ujiri, and he's going back to the Bulls locker room. Anunoby hits the technical free throw after DeRozan gets ejected. So now Pirtle goes to the stripe to take the 2 free throws after the personal foul. Siakam and Levine talking right now, and I think they're talking about whether or not the Raptors should have been taking a shot, because Pascal was just kind of shrugging his shoulders and pointing towards the bench and whatnot.
Listen, the Golden State Warriors can be up 20 at the end of the game, and Steve Kerr says, we are not taking a turnover on our stats. I'm sorry, we're taking a shot.
And now Darko Rajakovic is explaining it to his friend Billy Donovan as well, as they meet at center court, share a few words, and Donovan just kind of nods his head and says, yeah, I get it. Darko now talking to Chicago assistants as well to explain things.
He shouldn't have to. I'm not a fan of some of these unwritten codes myself in many sports.
Final score is 121-108. The Raptors picking up the victory over the Bulls, a 13-point win for Toronto. And with the victory, Toronto has improved to 8-8, sitting at 500, as Scotty Barnes is getting set to join us. We appreciate him taking the time, as Scotty is putting on the headset right now, right in front of us. Scotty, first of all, congrats on the win. I got to ask you, right at the end there, listen, we talked quite glowingly at the beginning. DeMar DeRozan is beloved in this city, but at the same time, this is your house now. This is your joint. And you were telling DeMar, all right, buddy, time to get out of here.
Nah, I was just trolling.
Hey, at least you admit it.
I was just trolling right there.
Scotty, let's talk about how far this team has come and how you've come together through training camp and the first now 15 games or so, and what the feeling is like as guys are growing more comfortable with the system.
I just think that these last three games, we just been putting our heads down less. No matter what's going on out there on the court, we just keep going. They score a bucket, we get it right out. We're going down the other way, trying to score right back. So it's just less hanging our heads, more playing basketball together, just staying together throughout the process, talking more out there on the floor, communicating. We're being a team right now. That's just our main thing. We're just being a team out there, and we're playing together.
How much are you feeling that, Scotty, the comfort level and the playing together, getting better and better and better?
Feels good out there. You know, like I said, feels good out there. We're just playing together. That's really what I got for you.
Scotty, one last quick one. When it talks about being together and moving the ball, 32 assists tonight. Franchise record, 12 straight games with 25 or more assists. Is it starting to feel more natural now that we're almost approaching the quarter point of the season, the system, the style?
For sure. I think we do really good in pick and rolls. We have some turnovers, but we just keep going at it. Keep getting pick and roll, ball screens. Josh doing a good job finishing down there. Pascal's drawing attention, kicking out for threes, kicking out for dump-off layups. We're just getting a great feel out there, and we're playing together, and we're moving the ball really good right now.
Thanks for your time, man. Congrats on the win. There's Scotty Barnes of the Raptors. Scotty tonight finishing with 13 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. Filling up the stat sheet yet again as the Raptors win by 13 and improve to 500. We will step aside for the break as Toronto improves to 8-8. We'll come back with final stats, then our post-game show, Raptors Reaction. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine on Sportsnet 590, the fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Black Friday deals are on at Freedom Mobile. Get a nationwide unlimited plan on our growing 5G network for just $34 a month for 24 months when you bring your own phone. So it's more like Black Friday. Conditions apply. Details at freedommobile.ca.
Everyone loves a big save. The Sport Check Black Friday event is on now with incredible savings of up to 70% off all your favorite brands. Save big on sporting equipment, jackets, footwear, and more. Say it with sport, in-store or online at sportcheck.ca. Selection and availability may vary by location.
Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm jealous.
Hi, Michael. How did it start?
With my neighbor.
Oh, yeah. Go on. We talk.
So the jealousy stops. Well, he renovated his whole bathroom, and he said he got everything on sale.
Come on.
Even his tools.
That's just ridiculous.
Right? I'm not crazy.
Your neighbor's gonna be jealous with the Rona and Rona Plus Black Friday events. Save 50% on select vinyl flooring by Monocera. Conditions apply. Details in store or at rona.ca.
The prophecy is true. Rib Sanity has returned to St. Louis Bar and Grill.
Amen, brother.
Yes, all you can eat ribs for just $27.99.
We are saved.
And a 23-ounce Molson pint for only $6.99.
Hallelujah.
Make haste. Rib Sanity is here for a limited time only.
I don't know what haste means.
It means fast.
St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since 1992.
Have you wondered what driving a 2023 Lincoln Nautilus would be like? Now's the chance to find yours. For a limited time at Downtown Lincoln, you can lease the Nautilus at just 1.99%. That's right, lease rates as low as 1.99 APR until the end of November. So don't wonder what premium luxury feels like. Experience it now. Find your Lincoln at Downtown Lincoln. Until November 30th, lease a 2023 Lincoln Nautilus at 1.99% APR for up to 3 years. Cash prices start at $63,500 plus tax and licensing.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Back at Scotiabank Arena, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. The Raptors tonight beating the Bulls 121-108. A balanced attack for the Raptors tonight. 6 players in double figures, 6 players going for 13+, led by the 26 points that came from OG Anunoby. Jakob Poeltl had the double-double of 15 and 10. Scotty Barnes, the double-double, 13 and 10. Pascal finished with 18 off the bench. Trent had 16. Top scorer in the ballgame overall, Zach LaVine with 36. And the Bulls certainly came alive in that fourth quarter, cutting the Raptor lead to 7, but they never got closer. And the Raptors closed the game, Jonesy, winning by 13, putting up 120+ again, shooting 53% from the floor.
They did a great job. I thought they played with great energy early on. It kind of lagged. As in the middle of the quarter. It kind of lagged defensively, and the Raptors need to kind of be consistent over that time, Eric. They can't allow it to, kind of fall apart on them. Let's face it, that's what led Toronto back into the game.
The Raptors again getting the victory tonight, 121-108, to improve to 8-8. Their next action will come on Sunday when they are in Cleveland playing the Cavaliers. Thanks to everybody involved in the broadcast. Austin Mackey back at Raptor Central and down here at Scotiabank Arena. J.R. Manatad. For Paul Jones, I'm Eric Smith. Raptors reaction is coming up next. You've been listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, presented by Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, and their fans on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
The Raptors Reaction Podcast on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. I'm your host, Wayne Lou, speaking to you after the Toronto Raptors handle their business against the Chicago Bulls, winning by a score of 121-108. Can't say that there weren't some shaky moments. Like, the Bulls the Bulls have made some 20-point comebacks against the Raptors. We could think back to the play-in. We could think back to the second game of the season. And even though the Raptors generally match up well with the Bulls, even though the Raptors feels like they generally know how to play the Bulls, they know where their advantages are. They know what they can do in the pick and roll. And they know, even the matchups defensively, they have those down against Chicago. But it always reaches a point, usually in the second half. Raptors are up 20+. Raptors are up big. They're coasting. And all of a sudden, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan start to go off. And, there were definitely some scary moments in this one. Zach LaVine knocking down a whole bunch of threes. I mean, he can really go. I mean, he plays by himself, but, he makes a lot of shots. And a lot of them are difficult shots, too. So they cut it down. The Bulls get as close as, I believe, 7 points against the Raptors. And at that point, the Raptors call the timeout. And, 5 minutes left, 7-point game. The Bulls are making all the shots. They have the hottest shooter in the whole building is Zach LaVine. How do the Raptors handle it? And at that point, I think it started to get interesting to me because the Raptors had gotten open shots, as they did all night, but some of them started failing to drop. Dennis had an open three, couldn't knock it down. Gary had an open three, couldn't knock it down. Dennis with another open three, couldn't knock it down. And finally, it was OG Anunoby who hit a corner three off a nice pass from Scotty. Honestly, it wasn't even that open for OG, but OG had been hot in this game, didn't hesitate, switched to three. That pushed it back to 10. And it was just this nice little sigh of relief, really, because the Bulls had been coming on strong. And the more you miss, the more you give your opponent that confidence. And that OG three lifted the lid off the rim. That sparked, I think, the Raptors' energy defensively, too, because Scotty, I thought, turned it up to another level. He had a possession where he had to rotate over to Levine, but was all over him. Zach kind of dribbled it off and kind of kicked the ball. Somehow it wasn't called, but it ended up in Vucevic's hands, and he got an empty possession, which, got the stop for the Raptors. Then Dennis goes back the other way, and he realizes that he has the advantage over Kobe White. Defensively, the Bulls were trying to hide Kobe White. They need him for his offense. He's a really good shooter. But Dennis was able to get a quick drive, sneak past Kobe White, and get to the cup for another layup. That made it 12. Then OG comes down, and he's guarding DeMar DeRozan, as he did for most of the night. And DeMar goes for the pull-up. OG was there, right there for the contest. And the Raptors able to get the rebound. And the Raptors go the other way. Pascal drives downhill against Zach LaVine, and he gets the foul call. And, that kind of really just puts the Bulls back, where they belong, which was kind of down a comfortable 15, 18 points. And, you do have to give them some respect in the sense that, when they turn it on, when Zach starts to get going, when Vooch decides to, actually look at the rim rather than just passively playing around, when DeMar obviously has his moments, they can get a little scary. They have a couple of pressure defenders. Alex Caruso didn't really feature much in the second half. I'm not sure what happened there. Did he pick up a knock or something? But, they still have Javon Carter out there. They still have Patrick Williams, who actually had a pretty nice second half, knocking down some threes, getting a Euro step to fall, all this other kind of stuff. But, Raptors are the better team, and they handle the business. And in many ways, it felt like this is how the playing game should have been, because one thing with Chicago is because of the fact that they have really poor interior defense with Vucevic, the Raptors are able to, move him around in the pick and roll, and they got lots of looks to Jakob sliding behind him, even moves where, it wasn't even, he wasn't even open. Jakob would just throw in a little up fake and then step through. That's a devastating move that, he was able to do a lot last year when he came over the trade deadline. Hasn't been using it as much this year, but used it to great effect today. Got downhill against, Vucevic plenty of times. So they have the pick and roll against Vucevic. They have Dennis, who can also slash and get downhill against him, and there's not much of a threat of him coming in and blocking the shot. But the Raptors also have the usual post offense, right? And I thought maybe Chicago actually came out in this one with a pretty clear emphasis where Billy Donovan was like, we're not going to let Pascal, attack in the post against us. We will send the double teams. And we will show extra bodies on the drives. That's something that Chicago does do a good job of, is using the guards to wall off drives. And so a lot of Pascal's drives in the first half, especially because the whistle was pretty tight in the sense that, the Bulls can get away with a lot of contact and bump Pascal or whatever, and it wasn't really going anywhere. They weren't getting foul calls for it. But they did a really good job of zoning up against Pascal, showing two bodies, doubling him when he's in the post, making it difficult for him to even get to his spots in the first place. And why not? Pascal has been the Raptors' leading scorer the last couple of games. You just saw, he had 36 against the Pacers. If you watch that game, you'd probably be like, okay, let's take Pascal from the paint. The thing is, Pascal did a really good job of playmaking to start the game, and I think that really set a nice tone. I think Pascal had 5 assists just in the first quarter alone, set up an OG 3, set up a Dennis 3. It was just making good passes, finding the Jakob on the roll, and, playing that kind of unselfish basketball. In fact, he even picked up some turnovers just off of trying to make the extra pass out, but it was the right play. He just didn't get the deliveries right a couple of times. So, yeah, man, I got to hand it to the Raptors. They came out really sharp. They came out really strong. Having OG to guard DeMar is such a nice luxury. DeMar is obviously a really tricky cover, and he's such a specific assignment because nobody else really plays like DeMar anymore. All the pivots, the fact that he's able to post, the fact that he's able to just shoot mid-range anytime he wants. It's a really difficult assignment. And but it's something that OG has really studied. OG has really obviously not only been his teammate, but has played Chicago a ton of times, and he's always, when available, the option to go to against DeMar DeRozan. I thought he did a great job against him, but I always think that OG has a little bit extra offensively. I got to look up his numbers when he plays against DeMar, but it seems like OG always has a little bit extra when he plays against DeMar, knowing that he can get at him defensively. And I don't even think DeMar was like particularly like leaky defensively. He was in positions, but OG had an extra bit of confidence. It helped that he knocked down his threes. I mean, 5 of 7 from 3 from OG was awesome. But OG also got downhill a couple of times as well. And in the moments where OG was smothered, he was able to make the extra pass out and convert a couple of plays. So, I was really happy. Like the fact that OG won the matchup against DeMar DeRozan, not only forcing DeMar to shoot 7 of 16 from the field with only 4 assists, but OG outscored him. He had 26 points. That was to lead the Raptors with all those threes, including the big one at the end there, as I mentioned, to just lift the lid off the rim and just give the Raptors a bit of relief. It feels like so many times Raptors get into crunch time and they just need that one bucket from somebody, and you don't know A, where it's going to come from, but B, you don't know if they're actually going to convert their open chances. And that 3 from OG was massive. I certainly felt a lot better. But yeah, I mean, I think overall, like, it was just a nice team effort. First off, every starter came in and played their role kind of beautifully. Again, I just think the Raptors match up well with Chicago. You have Yak, who can do a good job against Vooch. Vooch was trying to get it going early, single coverage. The Raptors had Yak up there, and look, single coverage, I don't really see why he can't stop a guy like Vucevic. And twice Jakob got the stop against Vooch at the beginning of the game. It felt like that from that point onwards, they just didn't give Vooch the ball. He was mostly there as a screener. I was a little worried of him popping out for 3, but he was turning down threes as well and trying to play make and stuff. So, that wasn't as much of a concern. OG had DeMar. The only concern at the start and throughout the game was Zach LaVine. And Zach had it going, and it was like Pascal took a turn guarding him. Scotty had some possessions guarding him. OG eventually switched on him, guarding him. It kind of didn't matter. Zach was a little terrifying that way. Like, he would just come in, play with a little bit of pace, and then pull up. And just over and over again, the pull-up jumper was just absurd. And, of course, he can get to the basket as well. But largely speaking, it was just the pull-ups, man. And he was 16 of 23. And it felt like, I don't know, it felt like at least 14 of those were just like self-created ones where he's attacking off the dribble, he's attacking off the bounce. He just wouldn't miss. Contested, doesn't matter. He would make those too. So that was the main issue for the Raptors defensively. And look, it didn't hurt them because Raptors got off to such a great start. They led 36-22 after the first quarter. But, throughout the game, the middle of the game, the Bulls were able to score mostly because they got it to Zach. And a couple other plays in between there. When the Raptors turned the ball over, they're